Warne Field, Brawley, California, October, what are we today, Ron, the 7th?
Let's go with October 7th.
Let's go with October 7th at Warne Field. Getting ready for some Friday night football action going on. I'm Will Torrez with my day one guest, Ron Rubio. Ron, good to have you back, buddy.
Thank you for having me, and welcome to everybody here out there watching this homecoming game for the Brawley Wildcats versus the Southwest Eagles of El Centro, California. Beautiful night tonight, Will, for a homecoming game.
Well, we got homecoming here. We got 90 degrees. We got no wind. A little bit of difference from what we did a couple of Thursday night games, but nothing like tonight. It's kind of odd, Ron, for an October. You're starting to get that sense it's football weather, little playoff weather, but it's got to be a little bit cooler. You got to have that little jacket on to get the playoff weather going on.
The fall weather, the jacket should be coming on. Instead, we're in week 1 of October. And we're in the home stretch for the final for the season. After tonight, we'll have 3 games left in league. Brawley is 4-2 overall, 4-2 overall, whereas Southwest is 1-5. Well, so their teams have played 6 games. There's only 4 more left, and by the end of October, the regular season's over. Now everybody's jockeying for position for playoffs.
So as we get ready for kickoff right now, we have a couple of minutes. Let's catch up a little bit, Ron. We had some games last night. We had the Hopeville Vikings visiting the Imperial Tigers at
Shimamoto
Simpson Field, with convincingly Tigers taking control of that game last night. And another IVL matchup, we had the Calexico Bulldogs visiting Cal Jones Field with the Spartans, and I believe that final score was
I heard 34-14.
34-14, that's correct. That was special guest Butch Morales and
nice.
John Moreno was on the call over there. And last night was Jalen Fong and Cole Johnson. Excellent job. So then we're going to talk about where these 2 clubs are going tonight. The Brawley Wildcats past mid-form, 3 more games, as Ron said. And we're going to talk about the Eagles a little bit, but let's talk about the Wildcats right now. What are some of the things going on with them Wildcats then, Ron?
Well, as we said, they're 4-2 overall. I was going over the records of the Wildcats as the season has progressed. In the first 3 ball games, they were outscored 102-75. In their last 3 ball games, Brawley has scored 91 points, opponents 31. So they've kind of turned things around. As I said, they're 4-2. They had a tough 3-game schedule to come out of the blocks. They survived with the 1-2 record. Now that they find themselves 4-2, 0-0 in league, this is their league game here. And as we said, well, this game here is a launching pad. This will be a Southwest second league game. And the thing about Southwest, they're playing the top 2 teams of the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They came out playing Central, didn't do too well there. Now they're against the Wildcats. Whereas the Wildcats, this is their first league game. And league is so important. As we know it, Brawley may be fighting for their playoff life right now. They're number 11 in D2. Correct me if I'm wrong, only 12 teams go.
Only 12 teams
only
go.
12 teams go. So, both teams right now are having a different approach to this ball game. Brawley's on a mission to make sure they get to the playoffs, whereas Southwest is trying to get things going, surviving a game, playing play by play, quarter by quarter, half by half, and see where that takes them.
Well, Ron, that's interesting you say that when you say getting ready for the playoffs, which is very true. But one of the things, Ron, that we believe in, they need momentum going into the playoffs, Ron. And you know how important that is, that momentum going in there, because we've seen teams – they don't always have to finish first, but, man, they have that momentum going into the playoffs. And in fact, Coach Self has proven that after getting, 219, where they had a lopsided score at Cal Jones Field, and then they went minutes away from going to the championship game in the CIF play. I think it was Division III at that time. So the momentum is very important. You don't always have to win league, but you do want – and, of course, the last game look, Central's going to have to play their top of their Imperial's going to have to play their top-notch game to compete against the Brawley Wildcats and compete against the Central. And if they they're Division III, Central and Brawley are Division II. So they pull a win out of one of those 2 games. That sits them pretty. So all these games in the next 3 weeks are very important to those. I mean, they're important to everybody, Ron, but it's going to be a difference if Imperial comes up there and shake things up a little bit.
That's a good point. But, like last night, okay, Central handled Calexico. I think they kind of handled him pretty well. So Central is, I'm going to say it right now, at the start of the league, everybody's looking to see where's Central at, where's Brawley at. And it's like that collision course that's coming up. But they're, like you just said, Imperial can change the whole story of the IVL if they have a good game against either team, Brawley or Central. And when's that matchup, Imperial Central? Is it next week?
Yeah, next week we will be at Shimamoto Simpson Field, where the Wildcats will travel and take on over there. The advantage Imperial has is that both games will be held at Imperial turf right there. So the atmosphere and the crowd is going to be terrific for both those games, and that's the advantage that Imperial might have. Coach Shaw has these kids prepared, but enough of that, because Coach Shaw knows what he has in front of him. Okay,
that's for sure.
So listen, the thing right here is you got the Southwest. As we get ready for our national anthem, we'll be right back after this.
Swallowed up, the ball's loose. Picked up. Southwest has got it.
And that is Carranza. He just walked right in. So with 3:28 remaining, both teams are striking back right now, trading punches. Welcome everyone. We're back to Warne Field, where the Brawley Wildcats are preparing for their homecoming game versus the Southwest Central El Central Eagles. Will, great night for opening league game for the Wildcats.
You know, Ron, as we talk about the Southwest Eagles, let's talk a little bit about them. Coach Haynes, look, we're big Coach Haynes fans. Let me tell you, one of the questions I asked him, let's be honest, Coach. The situation is, Coach, you start off strong in the first half. You've held teams in check at least for the first half, and then the second half of the game, Coach, it just falls apart on you. And you know what? There's one thing about Coach Haynes. he's very upfront and he's very honest. And he said he's trying to figure that part out. And he's having, you know, he wants to work forward on. He wants to keep working on that. And that, you know, Ron, what can you expect? Nothing but honesty at a stand-up type of guy Coach Haynes is, man. So, you know, he's got a tough task in front of him tonight, Ron. He does.
I'm going to tell you something, a real interesting fact that I was speaking to John, Coach Haynes, before the game. And I've always said, and I'll always believe this, the most important part of your football team is your offensive line. Because if you don't protect your quarterback, if you don't protect your running back, your offense can't produce points, can't get yards to get points. And the deal is, they're in their 7th game of the year. This is their 7th combination of offensive linemen. So they haven't had that cohesiveness, unity on their offensive line. So that's a big thing at any level of football. So that's something he's dealing with. And like he says, Ron, I'm putting one guy in, one guy goes down. One guy gets back healthy. I've had another guy, you know, these type of injuries happen. Like I said, this is his 7th game of the year. And injuries are part of the game. But like he said, he got hit with them early, man. So, you know,
yeah.
I feel for the guy. So when you're trying to get your offense, and here's Coach Haynes' philosophy. He can throw the ball. If you can throw the ball, you have a puncher's chance in a game. Because you could air that ball out. And let's not joke around, man. If you're going to move the ball in Brawley, it might be through the air.
And you know, Ron, the thing is, Youngers has proven he can get it in the air. The thing is, now he needs the time.
Yeah, that's what he said. He wants to keep his quarterback upright where he could just set and throw. And let's see tonight if they can get that done against this tough Brawley defense.
One of our great features that we have added to VSN is the ability to get communication with the white hat and to our listening fans out here. So let's stay back and listen a little bit as we hear white hat John Seaman with the coin toss. Guess is Victor Chino Torrez.
Serving currently as the interim vice president of student services and equity at Imperial Valley College. Previously, he was the dean of student affairs and enrollment services and campus safety, and the associate dean and non-traditional instruction.
Well, anyways, as we get back,
Torrez, our honorary coin toss captain tonight for the Wildcats. He's joining the Brawley High captains, varsity captains.
and it looks like Brawley has won the toss, and they elected to defer and will be kicking to the Southwest Eagles. So, like we said earlier, Southwest Eagles got a task in front of them, Ron. And like we also said, they do have the personality to come out strong like that. So once again, that's Chino Torres, a Brawley alumni, coming out here representing IVC. You know, there's nothing but I can say thanks a lot to everybody down there at IVC College that has been tremendous in this
Support
whole
of our VSN, right?
Exactly. And when you talk about support in every aspect of it, we try to get a little support from the sports and everything coming on. And before we kick off, I'd like to say, Top Notch Barber, go visit Big Chris at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro for one-of-a-kind haircut. Fresh shades, always a cut above the notch. And you know what? There's one thing about Big Chris.
What's up?
He's open right now, and he's watching the game.
Hard worker, that man. Hard worker.
Chris, hello from all the guys up here at VSN, man. Hope you got all them TVs full blast on.
Southwest Eagles will receive.
And Ron, if you're a Brawley Wildcat right now, Ron, look, you got the Eagles in front of you. You're going to want to send a message, and you're going to want to send a message quick.
You're going to have to get going, and you know, like when you're playing a top team, you have to play your top game right now. I mean, you have to eliminate whatever mistakes that you have been doing in the past. Learn from your mistakes, and here we go. Urbano with the kick. Urbano's going to kick it into the corner. Fair caught by number 3 of the Southwest Eagles, Dylan Galicia. I like that.
So, as Youngers gets in there to take the snap out of the quarterback position, I can tell you one thing that Coach Haynes is going to do. He's going to start airing that ball. That's one of the things that Coach Haynes loves to do is air that ball out, Ron.
Logan Youngers is their junior quarterback. He's been their quarterback since he was a freshman, just like his counterpart, Ethan Gutierrez, quarterbacking a varsity team, which is a major accomplishment as freshman. So here we go, shotgun formation for Youngers. Alongside him is Enrique Cervantes, number 4. Trips to the right. Youngers looking, he sets. Rolls out to his right, looks, shoots. And incomplete pass. A little bit tangled up. Intended for number 12. That is Jonah Estrada. Jonah Estrada had a pretty big catch, I think, against the Spartans.
Yeah, and Ron, the color is correct on your screen. The Brawley Wildcats.
There you go.
Is coming out in a gray, and I kind of like them, Ron. I kind of like that color gray they got on them right now.
It's a little twist for homecoming. I'm not sure what. How many years has Brawley been playing football? That's what I want to know.
Well, we got a 100th year
Maybe
game coming up.
105. Well, that's the Bell game.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's just the Bell game.
So here we go. Southwest with the bunch set on top. That's to your right. Rush. They're flushing him out to the right. He wants to set up. Youngers wants to set up. Instead, he has to run for his life, and he's going to be brought down for a 5, maybe 6-yard loss.
And, of course, they always get the jerseys where we can't see the numbers. Well, at least I can't see them, so heck. I am going to have.
Chris Camilo on the tackle there. Chris Camilo will get credit for a sack. Camilo is the leading tackler for the Wildcats, averaging over 7 tackles a game, and that is solo tackles. But he's in on a lot of hits. Chris Camilo, junior linebacker, Brawley High. So here we go. 3rd down and, let's say, 16 yards to go. Youngers again back, flushed out by Platt. Try to set up the screen to number 4, incomplete. So with 11:17 remaining, that's an incomplete pass. Clock will stop, so 3 and out for the Wildcats.
And that's one thing the Eagles especially didn't want to do, starting on their, deep in their own end zone. Now they got to get the kickoff, and you're going to see the Brawley Wildcats get good field position out of that.
Daniel Camilo standing at his 45-yard line. So this is the kind of start, the auspicious start you want to avoid as Southwest. You're the underdogs already. On all were they 2 pass attempts? They flushed them out. A kid like Youngers wants to set up. Let's see if they could correct that. Back to kick is number 7. That's a big old boy back there, and that is Anthony Molina. Molina, that's Camilo to the 40. Gets the room to the 35. Good 7-yard return up to the Southwest 32-yard line. So that's where Ethan Gutierrez will take over. Ethan Gutierrez, as we said, who made that tackle, Will?
That's number 2, Cole Redden, making that tackle. Make sure he didn't get past to the outside on containment out there on the punt team. Ron, you said something, both these kids as a freshman, except the only difference is Ethan Gutierrez is a senior and Youngers is a junior. But look, Ethan has seen it all. I personally have never seen a quarterback start. Well, he didn't actually start the first.
No.
But the 3rd game of the season, he's been the quarterback for the Brawley Wildcats the last 4 years.
He sat out. He's only played 5 games. And here's Carranza. Carranza trying the right side. Carranza will get very close to a 1st down, and they're going to give it to him. So it's a 1st and 10 right off the bat. Carranza, who is the leading rusher for the Wildcats.
And also leading touchdown scorer. Is that
He
correct?
has 12 touchdowns. He 540 yards on 95 carries. So that's the rushing leader, the passing. And you know what? Ethan Gutierrez, 2nd leader in rushing, 45 carries, 439 yards. A lot of them is the big broken, scrambling runs, breaks it off for the big run. So here we go, Carranza, single back, 2 receivers to the left of Gutierrez. Wildcats are moving to the east end. Quick pass to, is that Platt? Platt's going to get out there. Robert Platt bulls his way over, steps out of bounds at the 9. It's going to be a 1st and goal 4. Is it right at the 10?
Pablo Mar is in on the tackle, but yes, there's a 1st down right on the 10-yard line.
See, this is the start the Wildcats wanted to do. Just come out firing, let it go. They didn't want to come out slow. Right here, they got that big run by Carranza. First and foremost, they had a great defensive stand, 3 and out, perfect field position. Now they find themselves with a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
And we got a moment to say we'd like to thank Joaquin Matus, Ron Rubio, of course. I'm Will Torres, and we got Saul up here. Down on the field level, we got Mr. Jalen Fong covering the ground field as always down there for the VSN total group down here.
1st and 10 with 9:38 remaining in the 1st quarter. First possession for the Wildcats. Gutierrez looking, has plenty of time. He looks, he throws, he shoots. It's complete to Damian Abarca. So with the plenty of time, Gutierrez was able to go through his progression, nails it to Damian Barca, touchdown Wildcats, 9:29 remaining, 6-0.
Let's talk a little bit about Ethan Gutierrez. He sat out last week. Ron, tell us a little bit about.
Deep thigh contusions, what we're hearing, you know, it's been kind of bothering him since the summertime and just came after a really tough game against Fallbrook. I mean, he balled out against Fallbrook. You couldn't tell he had an injury there, but he's been carrying it since the beginning of the year. They rested him versus, who was it, Gila Ridge last week?
Yeah, Gila Ridge last week.
Got the rest, and let's see how he motors today. So that's something he's going to carry him, and, you know football. So with Urbano with the extra point, we now have with 9:29 remaining in the first quarter. Brawley 7, Southwest 0.
We'll be right back after this.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Welcome back to Warne Field as the Wildcats on their first possession have scored on a 10-yard pass from Ethan Gutierrez to Damian Abarca. It is 7-0 for the Wildcats in their homecoming game here in Brawley, California.
One thing I want to mention, Ron, the band was looking pretty good out there. That's good to see the Brawley band up there. Been practicing hard, got a couple
Everybody's
of
in mid-season form,
Yeah.
the band, the cheerleaders, even the crowd. Let's see what it looks like here. Urbano set to kick. Deep to receive is, I'm going to say, number 10. That's number 24, Southwest. That's Julian Lopez. Lopez is going to let that bounce out. All right.
And they'll get the ball on the 35-yard line. One thing about
35-yard line, really?
Yes, I believe so. But that doesn't mean I could be wrong, Ron. Anyways. But speaking of that Brawley band, there's I'd like to say hello to some of the people on that band representing the Brawley band. That's the Nunez family and the Magana family. True diehards when it comes to the band situation. So congratulations to Magana's son and Miss Nunez. I guess sometimes I'm right, Ron. 35-yard line, they will start.
Got that right. And before we get going, let's talk about this Southwest lineup for the offensive line. At center, you have number 55. That's Lucas Salcedo. Salcedo is a sophomore. Alongside him on the right tackle will be Enrique Tarragrosa. He's a junior. A lot of underclassmen here. The only senior on that offensive line is number 66, Alejandro Rodriguez. Youngers again rolling out. Again, he cannot plant and throw. There's a pass complete to number 4. That is Enrique Cervantes. So that's kind of been their offense where Youngers, it's not a scripted play. Well, I mean, once the protection breaks, he's got to make a play, and his athletic ability allows him to get loose, man.
Well, the thing I noticed on that, Platt chased him out of the pocket. He was able to elude him by doing a little bootleg to the opposite side.
Yeah, he rolls to his right and then has the ability just to spin out and come back to his left. So here he is, Cervantes again off the right side with a good carry. Check that, a carry of 2, making it a 3rd down. Let's say 3rd and a long 4.
Middle of that was number 72 for the Wildcats. And do you have a number on number 72?
For who?
For number 72 on
that
the
is Duarte.
Well,
that is Robert Duarte, I'm pretty sure.
Well, they must have not given him one of the great
Yeah,
years.
it's Robert Duarte. He wasn't on the original roster. So here we go. Youngers again, set. This time maybe he has a little bit more time. Looks. He's going to roll right. Chased by Gutierrez. Matthew Gutierrez. Incomplete, intended for number 12, Jonah Estrada. So as you've been seeing, folks, every time Younger gets back to throw, he can't set his feet. He's got to get moving, but yet he has the ability to set that ball, get it out to his receivers. 4th down and 5, most likely a punt, and in comes number 70, Anthony Molina, senior punter.
And credit to the defensive backs of the Brawley Wildcats.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, because look, they're right on them. They are right on those receivers. You got Aiden Torres playing safety back there. Camilo and who's on the other side?
Makai watching at the other
Makai
corner,
watching,
and Damien Abarca at Monster.
Yeah, credit to them guys for staying with them and not giving the Youngers a place to place that ball on the pass.
And I don't know if this was a fake punt or he just went ahead and took it a good tackle by. That is Aiden Torres. So Torres taking on a guy maybe twice his weight, brings them down, tackle. Wildcats again starting their second drive at the 41-yard line of Southwest.
Well, Anthony Molina was back there on that punt.
It looked like a design
Well,
run.
let me tell you,
know.
I don't know if it was design run, but he did exactly what you're supposed to do. Look, if you feel you can't get it off, you just start yelling fire, 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 and run straight up the middle. And
He ran like a fire truck.
He sure did. He was only 2 yards away, still short. Doesn't matter if you're 20 or 2,
Yeah,
you're still
it's
short
right.
of
You're
a first
still
down.
short. So the Wildcats now with trips to the right for Gutierrez. 8:08 remaining in the first quarter. Second possession for the Wildcats. Gutierrez, look, he shoots it down and a little underthrown. Great catch by who? It's incomplete. Makai Washington, a little bit underthrown.
A little bit underthrown. And, you know, one of the good things I noticed was Makai Washington stepping up his game.
Makai has, hey man, he covering Brawley last year. Makai's picked it up a lot since last year. I mean, especially like second half of the season, last season, he's just been on an upward climb.
Well, he's got them. He's got that. He's got that. The genes from old Mr. Don Campbell himself. Man, the guy was an athlete himself. Central Spartan, may I add, and somehow made his way north to Brawley, and that is his grandson out there, Makai Washington.
Congratulations to the Campbell and Washington family. And here we go. We have doubles on both sides. Wide side of the field is to the right. They give us two. Carranza, no, it's a fake. Gutierrez keeps. Gutierrez to the 30. Gutierrez to the 20. Gutierrez knocked out at the 15. So you have, that's one of Gutierrez's good points there, is the ability to ride that back up to the line. He'll fake everybody out. I thought he gave it to Carranza. He pulls, boom, gets around. Great game. That's why the kid's getting 439 yards, averaging over 9 yards a carry.
Ron, what die was that was bothering?
I'm not too sure. I mean,
He not that he's favoring anything.
it looked kind of like not his normal stride.
Well, not so much that either. But after the run was over, I seen him reach on his left side, like maybe he might be extra wrapped. You know what I mean? How
It
they
could
wrap
be,
it?
you know,
Yeah.
when you wrap it too tight, you want to
Yeah,
get whatever that
exactly.
and just loosen it up a little bit.
So
A little bit of sweat will get that thing loose. Let's see what happens on this 1st and 10. Motion by Camilo. They give it to him on the jet sweep. He's at the 10, cuts back inside the 10. Let's say maybe a fumble.
No, that's just him getting more
Are
yards.
you kidding me?
No, and let me tell you something, Ron. That is the Camilo we need to see. He's a senior. He's a senior. He's got his younger brother playing middle linebacker, but Camilo has to do that. They have to start stepping it up, especially in mid-form. Now, we've been away from these Brawley Wildcats for 4 weeks, Ron. Is that what it is? 4
When's
weeks?
the last time we've seen him?
It just seems like a long time because they had a bye in between. So we see them now, and look, they're it's good to see them mid-form. This is where
They
you're
look a
supposed to be
lot
looking.
crisper.
Yeah.
I mean, they for this type of season, their legs look crisp. And there's Carranza. Carranza up the middle. Carranza is in. So with that, on a 1st and goal at the 5, Tanner Carranza knocks it in for a 5-yard touchdown with 6:39 remaining. We now have the Wildcats 13, Eagles 0.
Well, when you talk about Carranza, not only is he a great punter, but there's one thing. He's that type of runner, Ron. He's a north and south runner.
Yeah, he doesn't joke around.
No.
He's not going to juke you out. He's just going to go and power you up the middle. On the whole will be Gutierrez Urbano set to kick. That's Nathan Urbano.
And there's one thing I love is multi-sport athletes, Ron.
And Urbano's one of them, that soccer player. He knocks it right through. So with 6:39 remaining, we now have the Wildcats of Brawley 14, Southwest Eagles 0.
And like to say hello to the El Centro Police Department, dedicated to serve our community through partnership, professionalism, uncompromising excellence. Quality of life, protection, and service is our commitment. RDO Company, with support, solutions, expert equipment possibilities than any other dealer in the market. Whether you are a seasoned pro in precision ag or just getting started, RDO Equipment Company is the partner you need for success in your field. Arctic Air, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air and Conditioning and Heating at 352-8855. One thing I'd like to make a point. Look, we strive to do the best we can. to get our fans so you guys can, do it. Trust me, when you see our sponsors that we mention their names or you see their ads, please always say thank you, because it's because of them we are able to transmit. We got a couple of thank yous from people that their brothers play and they're overseas in the service. So to all the military people, whether it's an aunt, uncle, or they don't happen to live and unable to attend the game, it's because of these sponsors that make it possible for them to watch it. So, just give them a hello whenever if you happen to know them. So thanks again to everybody that's come on board with the partnership there. Here we go, Ron. Back to you.
Dylan Garcia fields would you call that a pooch?
I don't know, Ron, because look, we've seen a pooch from the Brawley Wildcats, and this was just a short kick. How about if we call that? I think Self
I don't
said,
want to
look,
get Bourbano in trouble.
No, let's just say this. Self probably told him, don't kick it out of bounds
No,
again.
Don't kick it deep.
Yeah.
So here we go. The ball's at we'll say the 24-yard line.
And, I like the demeanor Self has right now. That demeanor on the sidelines when I spoke to him earlier, look, he means serious. He wants complete domination, complete control. He's just licking his chops right now.
Younger's rolling to his right, shoots it out. And, oh, what a catch. Oh,
That was,
caught out of bounds, incomplete, and that was number 13.
you know what I like seeing, Ron? Number 66, Alex Castillo. Sometimes we have Platt chasing him, but look, interior defensive lineman from the nose tackle position chasing Youngers out. And that's good to see right there. Everybody wants a piece on that defensive line of Youngers. I can tell you
Alex
that much.
Castillo is a junior, had a very good JV year last year, is coming on this year as a junior, getting some playing time. 6:25 remaining. Third possession. They give it to Cervantes. Cervantes up the middle, hosted by a bunch of Wildcats. Let's say who's on there. Mario Casares on the tackle.
Hey, Ron, when we talk about the Southwest Eagles and Youngers, we've watched him as he started as a freshman. Big difference from right now from his junior year. So you can imagine what he's going to look like next year. Look, the guy's taking a beating. There's no doubt about it. But look, there's one thing about him. He takes less of a beating. He's gotten so good at scrambling, so good at making plays. He's got that experience behind him, man. So, I mean.
Well, the kid's a good quarterback, and you want to see him.
Look at
sometimes
him, yeah.
He's learned. He knows what he has to do to adapt. And here we go. He's rolling to his right. And that's what happens. Some of the things you got to watch as a quarterback is when to cash it in. Like right now, when you're flying on a scramble like that, you got kids coming from DBs at full speed.
Yeah.
Run for cover, man.
Well,
you
I don't
learn, survive another play, fourth down, but
he's got nothing to prove. I would have been telling my quarterback, listen, you better slide. You know what I mean?
slide, get that slide. In high school, their slide is
Yeah,
there.
no. Well, anybody can slide because as soon as you're down, you don't have to be touched. You're right. But, yeah, when you start giving up the play like that, yeah. Looks like we're going to see a lot of number 70 coming in here.
Molina in. That's Anthony Molina. Let's see if they get a good snap. The snap was a little bit low last time, and Molina called it fire, and he went rumbling down the middle, short of a first down on 4th and 6.
Well, one thing these Southwest Eagles need to catch is a break here, whether it's a fumble, a little interception, or they need to stop. They need to change the momentum here from the Wildcats.
Molina, he gets a kickoff. That's Camilo. Bounces at the Wildcat 45. He picks it up at the 40. He's now at the 50. Let's say the 40. He's at all the way in the 35-yard line. So you want to catch a break. You don't catch breaks when your opponent starts 3 times in your territory.
One of our athletes that we like to focus on, because he's just a gamer since he was a freshman and sophomore, that's Jonah Estrada making the tackle right there on the sidelines in front of the Brawley Wildcat bench.
Jonah Estrada, yes, he's one of the, he may have been a starter since his freshman year as well.
Yeah, him and Youngers. Now, you got him as a senior or as a junior?
Estrada?
Yeah.
I have him as a junior.
Yeah, so yeah. So that's good to see.
Brawley will start from the Eagle 33.
Wildcats taking over with 4:35 to go, still in the first quarter.
4:35 to go for the Wildcats. They are right hash. That means the wide side is to the left of Gutierrez. Moving to the east end of the field. And here's that little
There's the break.
That's a shovel. That's a shovel. That's a shovel.
That is an incomplete pass is what it is. Because remember we talked about that, Ron, whether the ball is thrown high, whether it's thrown sidearm, or whether it's thrown underarm.
It's forward.
It's still a forward pass, so it's a complete ball. Now, the important part on that was John Seaman quick to call that. You know why? It avoids an injury where, like, people think it's a fumble. And they start, and that's how people get injured. The key is to have an experienced white hat and everybody else around them to make the correct call.
Have we had a penalty today?
Have not had a penalty yet.
I wonder if we got that fancy little feature going on tonight, do we?
Yeah, we got the fancy little feature
all right.
Yeah.
And here's Gutierrez. Gutierrez, amount of time he shoots it down the middle, wide open to Makai Washington. Touchdown, Wildcats.
You know, that week off last week, you know what? Ethan Gutierrez, but we've known this. Look, Ethan Gutierrez is the man out there.
Yeah.
He's the leader of this Wildcat on the offensive side. We know that. The guy's a leader. He leads by example. He was VSN's Player of the Year last year, and look, all he's doing is just stepping up when it counts right here. And showing no effects of that high thigh bruise.
No, man, when you have 1,202 total yards running and throwing in 5 games, this is what you're going to get in Game 6 for him. You know, it's a 7, and that's Urbano again. So with 4:27 remaining, we have the Wildcats Brawley 21, Southwest Eagles 0.
Letterman's and Bros for all your custom Letterman jacket needs, serving Yuma and Imperial Valley. Give Daniel a call at 760-693-5034. The right choice for your Letterman jackets. Esquer Realty. Esquer Realty is your hometown real estate office in Calexico and serving the entire Imperial Valley. Go see Mark or give him a call at 760-357-9707. The mark of excellence. And while we're here, let's talk about excellence. Mr. Vic Carrillo. He's under the weather a little bit, like the
Really?
same. Yes, but he will be back next week. There's nothing that can keep that man down. Let me tell you, man.
Was he down last night?
He was down last night. Butch.
Oh, Butch. I thought Butch was the guest. Okay.
No. Butch filled in for him. And you know what? I wouldn't even say fill in for him because there's actually nobody that can fill in for Vic Carrillo. He was there temporary because, as we know, Vic is a legend. Doesn't matter where he goes.
So here we go with 4:27 remaining. We have still in the first quarter. Urbano again, straight to that spot again. Dylan Galecia now is going to find himself back at the 23-yard line. Great tackle by number 2 of the Wildcats.
Number 2 coming in there, and that's Damon Abarca. That's your boy right there, Ron.
Abarca and Camilo are on there, and the Wildcats win business tonight. I mean, these kids, I'm telling you, they went through a tough patch in the first 3 ball games. You know, they started off beating Scripps Ranch. They had that tough loss to Valley Center. And then the disaster of University City, which happened.
University City came in here and controlled that ball game over the Wildcats.
It was like a tornado after the 3rd quarter. But so here come the Wildcats. Youngers again running, trying to get something going. Dumps it off to Cervantes. Cervantes making something out of nothing along with Youngers.
And that's Matthew Gutierrez, number 18, putting the pressure on Youngers. But that's what we were talking about. That's what Youngers has to do. But look, Youngers is comfortable doing that, Ron.
Now he's used to it. I mean, he's used to it. But here's the deal. When does the fatigue set in after running so much?
Well,
and if you get that rest, so it's a credit to his stamina. And, when you see a kid like that out there hustling, trying to make a play, hey, man, my heart goes out to that kid. So here we go. Trips to the right. We got motion by number 80.
The thing is, though, they've been 3 and out, so he's
they're not really out there too long. So here's Cervantes again, I believe, up the middle. Nothing doing. A host of Wildcats on there. Let's see who gets up first to get credit for that.
54.
54.
That's 54 for the Wildcats coming up there. That's William Enders coming in.
William Enders.
Making a difference. And that's the thing we're going to see as you see number 42 come out of the field right now. They know that Tanner has to carry that load on the offensive side, so they got him playing at linebacker position, so they're going to get somebody to rotate him in there. The only thing I didn't get was the person replacing him, Ron. Did you
you have Mario Carranza back in there. The starters are Carranza and Chris Camilo, 32 and 31. Those kids have been there for at least the last 2-3 years. Here's Youngers again. Pressure again by Gutierrez. He shoots it out. And number 12 looks like
Come on, gentlemen.
that was on the coverage was Robert Platt.
I was flat on the coverage, and the penalty was thrown before the ball got to the receiver, unless they would have had a little holding going on prior to that. But we'll see what Mr. And tonight's officials, Nate Beacons is the back judge as we go to Mr. John Seaman White Hat tonight.
Defensive holding.
Holding on the defense.
Going to be a first down.
I didn't catch a number, but
It was looked like it was Platt 17.
Yeah. So and that, like we said, happened prior to it. So that just from the line of scrimmage, they go 10 yards. It's enough for a first down, and we talked about that too. Even though with the score right now, the Wildcats 21-0 with 2:57 to go at the end of the first quarter, maybe that's that little break. Look, they need to put some kind of points up on the board right now.
This is their first down of the game. Their second set of downs they get on a series. So now they're at the 39-yard line, trying to get a little bit out. If they have to punt, they need another first down to start getting a little bit into that territory.
Yeah. They're giving Brawley the
Winning
short
a field advantage,
yeah.
right, the short field. And here's a nice pass out to and caught by number 13, William Lillian. And Lillian is the leader of that receiving corps. Lillian leads the team in touchdowns. He averages over 55 yards per game receiving yards. Great effort, man. And Lillian's no small guy, man, number 13.
Well, it's good to see the Eagles. Look, we knew, as we said earlier, we knew they had a tough matchup here against these Wildcats right here. But listen, they're not backing down as it shows right now either.
So they have a chance now. They got in Wildcat territory at the 30-yard line, 2:27 remaining. Short motion, no back yo-yo motion. That's back and forth to give us to Cervantes up the middle to the left side. Cervantes for a couple yards. Escaped the tackle of Carranza. Gasarez.
And then and also to help out was number 54. That's Enders in there. And I know what the situation here. This new press box with the windows, it has that glare.
It has that glare,
yeah.
so you need to get away. You need to
stick
go
my
ahead.
head out.
So a 72 looked like a 32, and that was 72. Robert Duarte on the missed tackle. However, 2 yards only gain on it. Second down and 8 with 1:44 remaining. Younger's empty backfield. Younger has a little bit of time. Now he has to roll. He's got to get rid of it. He's going to throw. He shoots. And here's the thing. When your quarterback exerts himself, shows that much effort, that ball hits your hands,
You got
to catch that. Even if it's a 2-yard gain, man, catch that ball. It makes that all that effort all for nothing. And that's the thing that Coach Haynes was talking about, is getting momentum. You know, Ron, we got to make some plays. We got to keep our quarterback, standing up.
Ron, have we seen a plays where Youngers isn't under pressure?
No, we have not.
Listen, but I'll tell you what we have seen. Youngers avoid getting tackled in the backfield. That's Youngers Houdini out there, man. That guy's
he's an escape artist, and that's what you have to do. And like you said, he's adapted to this. This is how he survives the game and trying to keep the offense going. Cervantes tries up the middle. Cervantes maybe 2 yards on the play. It's going to make it a 4th down inside Brawley, I'd say at the 28-yard line.
That's Julius Diaz, number 55, in on the tackle, throwing them down. But Ron, 4th down, and I think we know what Coach Haynes is going to do right now.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, they finally got into Wildcat territory to make a difference over here, so you might as well go for it. It's 4th and 5, a long 5 at that.
So, no, we talked earlier about the offensive line, the trouble that Haynes has had having a unit be together for the first 7 games. You don't think the scouting report of the Wildcats knows that? Yeah. I mean, you're coming after those spots, man. You are going after that spot where, hey, this isn't their starter. Let's see what we could do. So here we go with the bunch set to the left. Youngers with plenty of time now. He's going to roll up. Does he have the open field? He does. He gets it. He's going to step out at. I don't know. Did he step out too short?
I'm looking.
Interesting.
Interesting to see what they give him. What do you think?
No, they gave it to him.
Nope, it's going to be a first down. Yeah, hey.
Well, he's smart enough to know that. And I was looking at that flank over there. I was saying, wow, hopefully the kid did not step out of bounds too soon. But instead, they have a first down at the Wildcat 21-yard line. So with 34 seconds remaining, we're barely getting out of this first quarter.
And I mean, you're almost finding yourself cheering for these Eagles because it's just good to see them not giving up, you know.
No, you can't.
And I know it's only the first quarter, but, you know, we talked about that earlier in the season. You got to get over that bump. You got to get over that hump. You got to get over that hump. Whatever that hump may be, Ron, you know, I don't know when they're going to turn it around, but if they can – as we get a timeout on the field. I was going to say, it'll be the end of the first quarter.
End of the first quarter.
They do have to get over that hump. And maybe it's tonight. Maybe I don't know what's going to, the end of the game's going to happen, but we'll let you know after this break. VSN, Ron Rubio, Will Torrez, Joaquin Matusa will be right back.
Welcome back, everyone, to Warne Field, where we have the Brawley Wildcats 21, Southwest Eagles 0. Up north in Calipatria, we have an update. At the end of the first quarter, we have the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets 41, Calipatria Hornets 0.
And Ron wasn't with us. He had prior commitments to this game. He's also a coach for another team, and his team was playing last night. But, you know, it was good to see Cole Johnson and Jalen Flong out in Imperial yesterday. Did an excellent job for VSN. It was good to see Jalen. That was his first broadcast with VSN. I thought he did one heck of a call last night. So thank you very much, Jalen. Thank you very much, Cole Johnson.
Good job, Jalen. Here we go. Start of the second quarter. Younger's looking. Younger's rolling to his left. He shoots it out to the corner. It's going to be a jump ball. Incomplete. Looks like Camilo on the coverage.
That was Torrez. That was Torrez coming off early, and then that's
Torrez and Makai Washington.
Makai. So the numbers are easy to see from the back, just not the front. But the difference is on the screen you can see them, just can't see them from up here. At the second story at Warne Field, beautiful facility. I'll tell you what an update up here in the press box, right?
Sure Ronnie? Is. And it's nice that it's 100 degrees and not 120.
Yeah, you know, you know when you're saying it's nice at 100 degrees. Yeah.
So here we go. 11:52 remaining. Motion, short motion that is. Younger's being blitzed. He shoots it out and incomplete. He can't even setting up for that screen for Cervantes. A little bit, you know, they had pressure coming out, and the way to beat pressure is with the little short screen.
Yeah, and that's Alex Castillo in with the pressure, number 66.
Wow, good for Castillo.
And once again, we've said this day in and out, Ron. Youngers has had pressure every time he's gone back there.
So right now, defensive line for the Wildcats looks like Alex Castillo, as we just mentioned. That's number 66. You have Robert Duarte, number 72.
Looking at a fourth down, Ron, a little bit different. So it's a long 8 right here.
David Martinez out there, so 4th and 8. Fakes 2. Cervantes rolls out to his left. Pressure by Platt, trying to get something going. Stops, sets, throws, and it's complete. Complete to number 12.
And that's Jonah Estrada, number 12.
Jonah Estrada again.
In on the tackle, but not until he got a first down. Just key play was Torres coming in there from his safety position. But Ron, that's 3 first downs right there on this series right here.
So like, hey, true to Coach Haines' word, man, if you could throw that ball, you have a puncher's chance, you know, just like in boxing. If you have a punch, you may be getting knocked around a little bit, but if you can land one, they could change the whole ball game. So we're 11:23 remaining. They're down by 3 touchdowns. They need these points right now.
Yeah, and there's nothing that's going to, you know, I'll tell you what, don't care who it is. John Self is one of he comes from a defensive-minded family. He's not about to let anybody score on him just to let him score.
Fake to Cervantes, rolls right, knocked down by Number 18, Matt Gutierrez. Matt Gutierrez, as a sophomore, is the leading sack person for the Wildcats. They have him down as nine sacks. So that doesn't include how he hurries at quarterback. Quarterback hurries.
Now, was he in at quarterback last week for the injured?
He apparently quarterbacked the Gila Ridge game.
Yeah, he quarterbacked the whole game, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure he did. Gutierrez did not take one snap, so here we go. 2nd and goal from the 8. Bunch set to the right. That's the wide side. You have 3 receivers in a triangle. They call it a bunch. Cervantes is a single back. Youngers gives to Cervantes. Cervantes spins off, tries at the 6, trying to find his way to the 5. And met by a bunch of tacklers there by the Wildcats. Looks like Torrez is in there for the Wildcats. That's Brandon Torrez.
The thing is, Cervantes, he's not going down on that first contact.
No, he's not.
He's getting a couple of yards after that run.
Enrique Cervantes is a junior, so you're naming off these kids' names, and you're looking what class they are. There's a whole bunch of underclassmen.
Yeah.
So, you know, this experience they're going through right now, believe me, it will pay off next year as seniors. 10:26 remaining. 3rd down and goal. Youngers again. That's going to be illegal procedure.
Yeah,
maybe.
It looks like the.
Let's hear what John Seaman has to say.
Dead ball. Snap infraction, 55. That's 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
Yeah, and it looks like everybody was on the same page except for the center on the snap infraction there. And missing, you know why that crew looks a little bit different? Their umpire's a little bit different. We used to seeing Mr. Alan Phillips there, but he might have taken the night off.
That old Sean in there.
That's Sean McLaughlin in there at umpire. Good to see Sean, one of the top veterans from the Imperial Valley's Football Association. And don't forget, if you want to become an official, make sure contact us at VSN, and we'll get you in contact with the Referees Association.
So 3rd down now, third and goal from the 11. They'll say the 12-yard line. So here we go. We have motion by number 12. That's Jonah Estrada. Estrada takes that motion. Will set up on the top. Younger's looking. He's going to roll to his right. He's pressured. He throws into the corner. And that's going to be a touchdown by Jonah Estrada.
Yes, it is. Jonah Estrada. We talked about him earlier. Even though Youngers with the pressure on him by Castillo comes, Ron, credit to the Southwest Eagles for not bowing their heads down when they were down 21-0.
They come back. They come back with that nice throw, catch and throw by Jonah Estrada from Youngers. So it's 9:36 remaining. They're now setting up for the extra point. Set to kick the extra point will be Cervantes. I think they're looking for the kicking team.
Ron, does Coach Self still call all the defensive plays?
Sure does. He's a defensive coordinator for the Wildcats.
I know he has his hand in everything, you know, on the offense and everything. I just wanted to make sure if he was still the defensive coordinator.
But let me tell you, that's a blocked extra point.
And that's just that's that'll make him a little bit happy. I don't even know if I could use the word a little bit happier to see that.
I mean, you're not happy when you're a defensive coordinator. Anything other than 0 is too much.
Driscoll's has been serving the Imperial Valley since 1979. They take great pride in the years and experience of quality and custom silkscreen and embroidery services. Make sure you stop by and check out their huge selection of sunglasses, sandals, and street clothes located at 1470 West State Street in El Centro. IID, Imperial Irrigation District, is your public water and energy company providing reliable water service and energy to the Imperial Valley 24/7, 365. The IID is keeping the lights on and the water flowing in the Imperial Valley. Don't forget to subscribe to our VSN YouTube channel and follow us VSN on Instagram. So with that said, Ron, Eagles are, and check it out, the Eagles are on the scoreboard against the Brawley's #1. So with 14-point spread difference, let's see what can happen now.
Well, 9:36 remaining, 21-6 is the score. Set to kick is. That's number 75 of the no number for him yet. There goes Torrez. Torrez up to the 45-yard line, no flags.
Dropped down by number 6, and that's Richard Rodillas,
Rodillas, that's right.
Rodillas. Richard Rolditas brought him down, because if he didn't bring him down, there was only the kicker was the last guy left on that sideline right there in front of the Southwest Eagles.
See, these are the kind of plays, you know, this was an important kickoff. You know, you wanted it, you just got on the scoreboard, 9:30 remaining. You want to kind of keep Brawley deep in their territory.
Or at least make them punt, too, right?
At least them, you know, let them start from the 30 on in. Instead, they're at the 43-yard line. Perfect field position for the Wildcats. But as you say, when you're the underdog, you need good plays. You need to start thinking about what you're doing on every single play. Here's Torrez again. Torrez is now inside Eagle territory all the way to the 30. So on 2 big plays, it's been nothing but Brandon Torrez, sophomore.
Julian Lopez, number 20, bringing him down, but not until he gets double digits for the first down marker all the way up to the 20-yard line, 30-yard line, excuse me. And you just mentioned that, Ron. You're right. You got to contain these Wildcats.
You have to.
It was positive to see the offense move a little bit, but that's just youngers making things happen, you know.
Yes. So with the 1st and 10 at the Southwest Eagles 30-yard line, Gutierrez again, 2 receivers to his left. Whiteside will be to his right. They're actually in the middle of the field. Carranza is the single back. The give is to Carranza. He tries the right side. He has room. He has lots of room. He's all the way up to inside the 10, all the way to the 8-yard line. Great tackle there by
number 15, Mario Gonzalez. Ron, we've talked a little bit about it, but number 13, Ethan Gutierrez, is just dominant. He's smooth. He's dominant.
Confident.
You know what? And that is key, being confident. You're saying words that describing Ethan Gutierrez to the T right there. That's what he's the one that makes that offense move, man. I know, and it doesn't matter which line that's underneath him. He's the general out there, and he's good.
Hey, and at that position, quarterback, one of the hardest, if not the hardest position to play in any sport. You need a kid like that. Just like on the other side of the field, Younger's just that way too. So let's see, what is that?
Dead ball, false start, 55 on Brawley. Replay first down.
So that's our second penalty of the night, but
Not bad.
Ethan Gutierrez, and you know what? When you get mid-season form like this, Ron, you shouldn't be making a big amount of more than 5 penalties a game like that. Everybody should be on the same page. You're going to get, when you got a lot of crowd noise, that's going to happen. But listen, right now there should be minimum amount of penalties.
That offensive line for the Wildcats has that senior Brian Torrez, number 52. Everybody take a look at 52. That kid has been playing center for the last 4 years. He's a senior. Fake to Carranza. Gutierrez looking to the left. He tucks it away. He's at the 10. He's going to walk out at the 7. Back to that offensive line. The guards are Isaiah Gomez, a senior. David Martinez, a senior. Tackles Julius Diaz and Ronnie Rosales at the tackles. That rounds out the offensive line for the Wildcats.
That offensive line is brought to you by Marianne Valenzuela, is your State Farm insurance agent in Imperial Valley. Like a good neighbor, she's located at 122 Main Street in Brawley. Call your farm agent, Marianne Valenzuela Finley, at 760-344-0447 for your insurance needs.
7:29 remaining. Wildcats at the 9-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 9. Fakes to Carranza. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a pretty executed play. I mean, fake to Carranza. Everybody didn't bite on it and just finds his way up the middle. Perfect play. 7:25 remaining. Wildcats 27, Eagles 6.
So, Ron, we did see the Eagles drive down and score against the Brawley defense. But let me tell you something. Besides the penalty on the Wildcats right here, Ron, I have seen very few mistakes coming out of the. I mean, I haven't seen a drop pass. Gutierrez has been money on every pass. The linemen are giving him plenty of time, and you know what? And when he has scrambled out, and the kick is good. And when he has scrambled out, Ron, he was given enough time. It's just that there was
good coverage.
Good coverage in the back down. So good for them. So, and let's talk a little bit about the Original Town Pump. For the best steaks in Imperial Valley, visit the Original Town Pump, located 200 West Main Street in Westmoreland. For family fine dining at its best. Banquet rooms available for large parties. Call 760-344-3663. Let's not forget Imperial Valley College, founded in 1962. Proud sponsors of VSN's live stream for all Imperial Valley High School sports. IVC, fostering experience and education for over 60 years. Want to stay up to date with the latest on Imperial Valley sports coverage? Follow us on Twitter at valleysports.net and make sure to have post notifications turned on. One of our other friends at Intercare since 1970. When it comes to healthcare, Intercare is here to help with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. Formerly Clínica de Salud del Pueblo, Intercare, improving the health and wellness of the community. So Ron, 28-6 because missed extra point by the Eagles there. Still, when you start seeing these Wildcats, complete control on the offensive side of them.
Well, you know, the Wildcats have turned it around since we last seen them against University City. Like I said, there was a point I was trying to make. In their last 3 games, they've outscored their opponents 91-31. The last 3 games. Their first 3 games of the season, the Wildcats were outscored 102-75. And a lot of the, more than half of those 102 points were those 55 points that University City put up on Brawley. But here's the story. Brawley played a tough non-league schedule. You know, those first 3 games were, you know, they came out of it 1-2. Now that, like you were talking about earlier, finding your momentum. And right now the Wildcats are finding it against their opponents. So here we go. That's at the 25. That was number 24.
Beautiful
The
tackle.
Southwest Eagles.
By number 7 of the Wildcats, though. That's number 7, Jonathan Arenas, Ron?
J.D. Arianes.
Arianes. Now, Ron, you talk about a tough schedule. Are you for that, Ron? You like that tough schedule? I mean, it also depends on your squad. I realize that. But do you like playing that tough schedule and then it gets you ready for league? What's your thoughts on that, Ron?
I think if you have like an experienced team like Brawley has, you know, you're going to go ahead and have that tough schedule. Why? It's going to pay off in the long run. You know, maybe right now, like, you know, we're saying Brawley's the number 11 seed on D2, offsides by the Wildcats. But anyway, back to your question. I think it's a good deal when you have an experience.
Encroachment. Number 66 on Brawley. 5 yards, remains first down.
Beautiful, beautiful, John Seaman. So anyway, so back to your question. If you play that tough schedule, your thought process is, how's that going to help us towards the end of the season? Right now, I see it happening. Brawley played really good against Fallbrook, a team and a game they were expected to lose.
Yeah.
That was the best I've seen. I saw half of that ball game. And, I mean, Brawley doesn't look like the Brawley that lost to University City.
No, and you were at those games at the Fallbrook, of course, University City, and you're here now. So, in other words, you're saying that Brawley is up on the upswing.
They're getting up there. Here we go. Rush. A good pass out. That was intended for caught by number Julian Lopez. But smart enough for Youngers to get that ball out with the rush on him.
And coming in there like a bullet is
Man.
Damian Embarca, just coming in there on fire. But, so that's good to see because, look, when you're in this program, you got Central up there too, and you got Imperial in there. That's the momentum. That's the swing. You got to be climbing up that hill and then just bowling over people when you get there. So that's why, next week, I'll tell you what, you're not going to have Imperial Coach Shaw and the Imperial Tigers just roll over. Hey, come into our town and just do what you want. No, that's not going to happen.
They're on a roll right now. You know, what was the score last night?
No, and then they changed things up. Shaw's just, he's going to make it work. Of course, he's run and gun, but they've got I'll tell you what, that kicker they got, that kickoff on the kickoff team and field goals, Ron.
Wow, a leg, huh?
Yes, on one of the, well, we'll talk about it a little bit. Is that a catch? Did he catch it? Oh,
no,
incomplete.
Incomplete.
On one of the kickoffs, he hit the crossbar, Ron. So that's not, I mean, if it comes down to the field goal, I'm going to have to, give him a little bit advantage on that. But that's for next week. Right now, the Wildcats got the Eagles in front of them.
But you know what? If you're talking about, playing tough opponents, Central's lost 2 games, right?
Yeah.
Granite Hills and Mater Dei.
And
Two
Granite
tough
Hills-
opponents. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys, they've lost 3.
Palm Desert.
Oh, Palm Desert. my point was trying to make, well, against the San Diego schools that these guys will probably face in the playoffs. You know, Brawley has lost twice, once to University City and to Valley Center. Valley Center's in D2, University D3. However, you know, when you're going to start comparing that, when it starts heading up to the bell game, those are the points that you're going to compare both teams' notes on. So here's Gutierrez being rushed out by Castillo. Chased by Gutierrez. He's trying to find his way to the back. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Finally tackled by Gutierrez.
And this is, and look, I'll tell you what, Youngers might be in shape running from hash mark to hash mark, but these defensive linemen, man, I mean, they've been chasing them all over that backfield. But you make a good point. You know, with the 3 losses Central have and then these Wildcats, I think when it comes just to that point, the advantage is Imperial in a sense where, like, they can actually, like we said, if they win one game, they're in Division III, which helps playing them with Brawley being a Division II and Central being a Division II. So they actually get advantage points just playing them. You know what I mean, Ron? So they're going to look good going into Division III.
Molina with the punt gets a little bit of a bounce. And like I said, now ball at the 50-yard line. So with 5:18 remaining in the second quarter, Wildcats 28, Eagles 6.
We'll be right back after this.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Back at Warne Field with 5:18 remaining. The Wildcats take camp now at the 49-yard line of the Eagles. They have a 28-6 lead, 5:18 remaining. Trips to the left, wide side of the field is to the left of Gutierrez. They give us to Carranza. Carranza up the middle. Carranza to the 35, just rumbling his way for a first down. Let's say the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, 5:09 remaining. Wildcats will hurry up.
Number 25 in on the tackle for the Southwest Eagles there, Ron, and that was Chance Bermudez. And one thing is, I noticed right now in that run, he got enough for a first down. You see the way he's carrying the ball? He's carrying it, holding it with both hands. Now, he has fumbled a little bit, but it's been by pure effort. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy, there's no way. That's just a smart athlete right there. Look, I'm going to do everything I can to hang on this ball.
4:38 remaining. The little things make you look like a good football team. The way those Wildcats broke the huddle and ran to the scrimmage was perfect. But you don't want to look good doing that and then jump offside. So illegal procedure. Let's see.
Dead ball, false start, 60 Brawley, 5 yards, remains first down.
So 1st and 15 for the Wildcats. Ball is at the 39-yard line of the Eagles.
A little uncharacteristic. All these penalties have been the side. They're jumping outside. What's going on? I mean,
nothing major, which was probably a part of the problem the Wildcats lost in the beginning of the year. These, personal fouls or late hits, whatever it was. They're not the big variety of penalties.
Yeah.
Gutierrez looking wide open. And that is Mekhi Washington. He's going to step out right at the 1-yard line. So his momentum carried him out. Hey, give credit to Gutierrez. He had 3 receivers to the left of him. He decides to roll out, hits a single receiver, Mekhi Washington.
What a sign of a great quarterback at the high school level, Ron, where you know where all your receivers are at all times. As soon as he scrambled, he knew he had a guy. He had that confidence to throw at him. There was decent coverage on Mekhi out there, but he was, look, I'm going to place it where nobody else can get it, and he come down with the catch.
Let's not sugarcoat it, man. Gutierrez has a lot of time to throw, whereas on the other side, Youngers doesn't.
True,
so
that's true.
4:01 remaining. Wildcats, they give us to Carranza off the left side. He'll go in. And so with 3:58 remaining, the Wildcats now have 34, while the Eagles of Southwest have 6.
Yeah, and you make a good point. It starts with the offensive
Right.
lineman, Ron, and that's the honest truth. And Coach Haynes is the first one to tell you
just,
that.
Just tell him straight up, Ron, you
Yeah.
know, that's the story of his team right now, and you got to feel for the team because that is their current condition, their situation, the injury bug. Now they're getting some guys back. Let's see if they can finish off now, tonight, and throughout the season.
Well, and at the same time, too, look, Ron, you got to start building that foundation
Yes,
for
you do.
year after year after year after year. Now, and I know, look, Southwest has been to the playoffs deep where they had that championship run, all right? Credit to them. Credit to them. Hey, you know what? They had a great group of kids. They had to do it. Find me the formula to keep that happening over and over and
Right.
over. It just doesn't
That's
happen,
a
Ron.
tough thing to
That's
do.
a
It's
tough thing
really
to do.
tough thing. It's hard to get to the top. It's even harder to stay there. So with 3:58 remaining, the Wildcats 35, Southwest Eagles 6. And speaking of that great football team that Southwest had, Brawley has an assistant coach there, that Tyler Sycon. He is the defensive back and wide receiver coach.
The Dom team, for all your real estate needs, give Doug and Andrew a call at 760-337-8600. The Dom family has been in the Valley since 1908. For business, residential, and farmland real estate, it's the Dom team. Not I'll tell you what, not just for real estate business. As Ron and I know, you talk about knowledge Doug Dom has when it comes to the football, and that's all in Imperial Valley. Sitting down, talking to him. The guy is knowledgeable to all the sports. He's just one of those guys that loves high school athletes.
Good to have around in the Valley, man. He's a good guy to have. Just don't get him talking about those Trojans, though. So here we go with 3:58 remaining. The kick out of bounds, totally out of bounds. So they will start up at the 35-yard line.
You know what we need? We need a camera on Coach Self when they kick that ball out of bounds.
Well, you know, you talk about having his hands and everything. He does not only is a defensive coordinator, but he also runs a special team. So
Right.
that's something that John handed down from his dad, man. You know, the kicking game was there. John, you know, just they know they have their system. They've been running it forever. And so here we go. Southwest will start at the 35-yard line. The wide side will be to the right. They're heading to the east end of the football field with 3:58 remaining. As we said, it is homecoming, so some festivities. Will it be a longer halftime because of homecoming? So new running back in, that's number 11, the shifty little guy, number 11. That's Edgar Cisneros. Cisneros is a senior. Bounce it out to the left. Man, a big old. I saw that flag go up in the air. Not sure what reporting to Seaman.
Well, the one good thing about Seaman and this is we're getting clarification on these type of penalties, Ron. That was one of the important things that we decided to do that. Let's see what it is, because we could be guessing anything up here. And that's not right. That's unfair to the referees, unfair to our fans. This way we get to know what's actually going on.
We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 6 on Brawley, standing over the player and taunting him. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run and a first down.
See, and that Ron, we'd be up here guessing what could have happened, who was it on, assuming stuff, and if we were to get something like that wrong, it's just not fair to the athlete, not fair to the fans, and it's not fair to the referee. What's going on? You know, they could see it for itself. That was one of VSN's, Joaquin Matus, and
Great idea.
Yeah, it's just. We decided to do it. We got in connection with the Referee Association, and we believe this is a big key to help the game in itself.
I like it, and I hope the viewers out there like it. 3:45 remaining. The clock starts to wind down. Cervantes back at running back. That's number 4. He is a junior alongside his quarterback, Logan Youngers. This time he tries to set his speed. He's going to roll out. The speed of the Wildcats won't let it happen, and that is Matthew Gutierrez. So once that pocket collapses, it can collapse from inside out or outside in. This time, Younger's quickness cannot get him out of there with 3:15 remaining.
So one of the things is, Ron, with 3:16 to go, is you're right. He's able to scramble to the outside, but if he has to go back up the middle, it's just not going to happen.
Not going to happen. That is a total collapse with 3:02 remaining.
As we get ready for our halftime guest, Mr. Victor Chino Torres, like we mentioned earlier, he's going to be with us He's going to be with us and joining up in the booth up here. Talk to a little. He's actually a Brawley alumni, so he might like a little bit. If we get back to play-by-play to my main man, Mr. Ron Rubio.
So here's a gift to Cervantes. Cervantes up the middle, bounces out to the left, getting a few yards back. Now it's a 3rd down and, let's say, 14.
That's number 32 for the Wildcats making the tackle run, coming in there, and that's Mario Carranzas.
Casares.
Casares. I say Carranzas because that was my old Pop Warner kid, man.
Who was?
Markey. Rest his peace.
3rd down and 13 for the Eagles. They are at the 50-yard line. Motion by number 12, Jonah Estrada. Doubles on both sides now. He motions into doubles. That means 2 receivers on both sides. Younger set to back. Rush, screen to Cervantes. Cervantes, nothing doing. Maybe gets 4 yards back. It's going to make it a 4th down and 10. Hey, the Wildcats are reading those screens pretty good. They get that pressure on there, but they're smart enough to come back for the screen.
And so while we got Chino up here, he's a graduate of Westmoreland Elementary School District, completed high school in Brawley, graduated in 1995, then went on to San Diego State University where he obtained his master's degree in arts and education from Point Loma Nazareth University, and is currently working on his doctorate in the community college leadership also at San Diego State. Chino, welcome to the broadcast booth.
Thank you for having me, Will. Thank you, Ronnie.
Was Ronnie your coach?
Ronnie was my very first football coach ever.
Well, let me tell you, if there's one thing about Ronnie, which we'll talk a little bit later while we got this timeout, VSN will be right back with Victor Torrez, John, and Ron Joaquin after these messages.
Welcome back to Warne Field. 1:32 remaining in the first half. Southwest going for it on 4th and 10 inside Wildcat territory. We'll say the 47-yard line.
Why not? 1:32 to go till halftime. Chino, what do you think about these gray uniforms from the Wildcats?
You know, I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, but I'll be honest with you, they look sharp. But yeah, I'm a traditional guy, man. I think when in early 2000s we introduced some black to the uniforms. You remember those days?
I love those. Yeah, we were part of that committee. It was Anna Cortson.
Was Chino part of that? I thought it was Chato Torres and all that.
It was Chato and them, and that was the 2004. And I loved the black. I loved it. I'm a big fan of this gray one. So I'll tell you what I am a big fan. I'll tell you what, John Self is not a fan of kneeling it down. John Self, if he can get that first play going, Ron, you know him.
With 1:23 remaining in the second, you know, you
don't back there.
It doesn't matter what the score is, guys. You know, it's not a running clock. It's 30. It's still a football game. 35-6. You're not gonna, you know, take your foot off the pedal. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 40-yard line. Great field position. 60 yards away. 1:23 remaining. Doubles on both sides. Gutierrez looking. Gutierrez with time. Floats it down the middle. And there is Carranza. Carranza breaks a few tackles. Carranza now inside the 20. Hey, man, it looked like he was catching a ball in center field.
It's a great play out of a tight end pop, right?
Hey, I'll tell you what. And I asked this earlier. Has Carranza thrown an incomplete pass yet?
Gutierrez, I'm not too sure. Maybe he has. Maybe he has. If it has, I don't remember. So what happened here?
I don't know if we might have a timeout or
they didn't set the chains. I don't get it. So 1st and 10. 2nd down. Maybe they.
He killed the clock. He killed the clock.
With 2 timeouts left. Brawley with 2 timeouts. They 105 remaining. Just want to get their play calls. why hurry? You have 2 timeouts, 1:05 remaining. Ball's inside, let's say the 19-yard line. So the Wildcats looking to put up 42 points if they can in this first half. Trips to the left, middle of the field. You have Carranza single back. Makai Washington atop all alone on the right side of Gutierrez. Gutierrez with plenty of time, rolls off to his left. He's going to shoot down into the corner. Intended for Brandon Porras. Brandon Porras, you know, I'm going to not kid you, and not just because he's right next to me, but now that I think about it, Brandon Porras is a lot like Victor Torrez was. You know, the same build, athletic, could play receiver, running back, and, you know, DB. Victor was an all-around versatile player. And the only, I'm going to say as a coach, the only how it's negative or knock I had on Victor was his temper. That's, and I don't think that's really a bad, and I don't think that's very a bad. And I, you know me, I'm.
I was able to harness it through football, Ronnie.
That's what you did, man. Yeah. And you know, that's the deal coaching Victor, was I knew him. I knew how far you could get him to boil before, but he would learn. And that's the thing, you know, and that's a good thing, Victor, about sports that you can relate to. I think John Wooden says, sports doesn't produce character, it shows your character.
Yeah.
And you know, Victor was like that, man. And I knew when I had him, Victor was going to be good. He was good. And not only a football player, he was going to grow into a good adult, Will. Well, and look at him now.
Well, look.
So that he's one of my, you know, I'm going to, and I just say I take credit, but he's one of my prized players that I said, look at him now. When
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
so
you.
hey, in all seriousness,
You,
I've always felt that way.
Well,
always
you're
felt
telling me some of the accomplishment that he's doing. I'm learning something every time he comes up in the booth. You know, on the board for the bank and stuff, and then what he's done at IVC and in collaboration with VSN. I mean, he was the one that kick-started everything, to be honest with you, with Mr. Johnson's guidance and permission, I guess you would say.
59 seconds remaining. We have trips to the left for Gutierrez. 3rd down and 10. Gutierrez, look, he shoots it out quick. And another low throw to Porras, and it's incomplete. So the clock's going to stop. And now, luckily can the Southwest Eagles hold the wall? And they need to. I mean, if there's any chance of them coming back in this game, they can't allow a 42-point. They can't have 42 points on them in the first half. 56 seconds remaining. No timeouts or 1 timeout, 3 timeouts for the Wildcats.
That's why I was surprised when he spiked the ball down there to kill the clock, Ron. Well,
you know what? Sometimes when you're ahead like this, Will, you wanna practice situational stuff.
Oh, no,
so,
that's true.
You know, you could do that. We don't know what's working on Van Diver's mind. And here goes Gutierrez out to Platt. He finally finds him, and it's good enough for a 1st down with 51 seconds remaining.
You know, on the contrary, Will, I thought that Southwest would take advantage of the timeouts they have because, you know, to save some of that clock.
Yep.
Well, the one thing about the Southwest Eagles, we saw, Chino, and we were talking about that, with the score when it was 21-0, look, the Eagles were faced with, look, we got to do something because we don't do something right now, it's going to get out of hand right now. Because, look, the Brawley Wildcats offense is clicking on all cylinders, you know, and Ethan Gutierrez, man, I don't know what it was, but I feel like that when I take a week off from work. You know what I mean?
Refreshed and giving. So Gutierrez with the fake to Carranza, shoots it out, intended for Platt over his head. 28 seconds remaining. So with 3 timeouts for the Wildcats, they can and they have the luxury of timeouts and time.
And they also have
0 timeouts. I'm sorry.
They also have the ability. He'll kick a field goal because that's one of the things that they need to practice on too.
That's the exact good point. I mean, you're gonna. What happens when you're in a tough ball game and you die out inside here? Hey, let's get 3. Let's get something.
Yeah,
3's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Trip to the right. Wide side of the field is the right side for Gutierrez. And here's the thing: when you're defending a quarterback like Gutierrez and Youngers, hey man, if your receivers are covered, they're going to tuck it and run. So that's always part of his weaponry for Gutierrez. Gutierrez on the slant, touchdown. Makai Washington, and I was looking at the 3 receivers, and why was he looking over here?
Right.
Boom. hits that slant perfect.
Well,
So-
look, Don Campbell,
Mekhi
very
Washington.
proud night tonight for old Don Campbell.
Mekhi Washington smooth on what he's doing tonight. So the Wildcats with 24 seconds remaining have put up 41 in the first half, looking for 42 as Urbano sets up for the extra point.
So we can say this again, nothing wrong with that Brawley offense. They got the ball almost midfield to kick up.
And it's good.
And I think the defense is playing well.
Sure.
Well, they had a couple, Southwest had a couple of times where they were getting to the red zone, but they just couldn't capitalize.
Well, and look, it's going to be, you go into half, barring something spectacular happen, 42-6. Okay, I do believe that Southwest would have stopped them on that. They would have went in, 35-6 or whatever it may be. I mean, but the Eagles knows that the Wildcats, this is one of the toughest teams in the league right now. The advantage that the Southwest Eagles have, Chino, is that when they enter Division IV, they're going to be used to playing a team like the Brawley Wildcats, which gives them advantage in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, it's similar to what Brawley, Imperial, and Central do when they play tough teams from San Diego. They're playing tougher teams to get ready for league.
So I asked this question to Ron earlier. Are you in favor of playing those tough opponents early in the season like that? Like the modern day El Central played and the University City that Brawley played, because Granite Hills, they are the top team in Division II, which Brawley and El Central face, but Imperial's got the advantage because they're Division III. So,
my personal opinion is you play better teams, you're going to get better yourself.
I agree.
And so I think when you bring that to the league, it makes the whole league better football in the Valley.
Sometimes you got to take a whooping to get better.
Yes.
So here's a kick fielded by number 11. That is Edgar Cisneros. Cisneros brings it out to their own where? Trying to see, I just say the 20-yard line. So with 20 seconds remaining, what can Youngers do with 20 seconds?
Well, the one thing they don't want to do is turn that ball over this deep to the Brawley Wildcats right now. So, I think the smart thing going at half, readjust some things, at least try to get some more points on the board. Hey guys, look, we're facing a tough Brawley team. All right, let's work on ourselves right now. Let's just improve ourselves and move forward with this. The outcome be that it is, whatever it's going to be, but let's improve. Let's get something positive out of this game. Have you met Coach Haynes, Victor?
I have not personally, no.
Very energetic guy. Ron and I are big fans of him.
Empty backfield for Youngers. Youngers shoots it over complete too.
And that's his style right there. He's not going to take a knee. Coach Haynes ain't going to take a knee. No, he's a gunslinger.
But sometimes you got to play for pride too. So
yeah, that's exactly right. So with that said, we now will wind down the clock to end the first half, where the Brawley Wildcats have come out storming with the 42-6 lead over the Southwest Eagles.
So with that said, Joaquin Matus, Jalen Fong, Ron Rubio, Saul on camera, Victor Torrez as our halftime guest. Will Torrez will be back after this.
DP Duck quiere recordarle a todos que se mantengan activos, jueguen seguros y que sean cool este verano. Si no tienes acceso a una alberca, hay muchas maneras de refrescarte sin acercarte a los canales. Para estar seguro, recuerda las reglas de DP Duck. Nunca nades en un canal, nunca juegues cerca de un canal y nunca te metas a un canal. Si ves a alguien caer en un canal, busca ayuda o llama al 911. Mantente alejado y seguirás vivo.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us. We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beers and the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Reducir el uso de energía durante el verano es más importante que nunca. Este verano, IID le anima a hacer su parte al ajustar su termostato a 78 grados o más, evitar usar electrodomésticos principales de 4 a 9 p.m. y apagar luces innecesarias. Pero aún hay más. IID ofrece un número de oportunidades de ahorro de energía. Conozca nuestros consejos de ahorro de energía en iid.com. Trabajemos juntos para estar frescos y para ahorrar energía este verano.
Welcome back to our halftime as we welcome Victor Chino Torrez up here at the booth. Victor, thanks for being up here.
Thank you, Will. Thank you for having me again.
Appreciate the interview you had yesterday at halftime with the Imperial Tigers. You went up there and you explained to our audience the connection that VSN and IBC have and the partnership that we have created. And talk about some of the things that we've talked about earlier that we want to see in the future come out of this whole partnership deal.
Yeah, as I mentioned last night, you know, at IBC, we're trying to do some different things. We're trying to rebrand, rebuild. Obviously, we're getting a new mascot. That's a pretty big deal.
Now, when will we be able to announce that?
I can't tell you an exact date.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a committee that meets, but it's coming. We had some community input. We have a couple names, a couple mascots, but I can't disclose it because I don't know. But, yeah, so that's one thing. And then in athletics, obviously we're trying to do some new things. We're in the process of hiring a new AD. I can't disclose that yet, but it's coming.
Chino, we brought you up here. You're not gonna let the public know all the stuff that's going on.
So, we have to keep things tight until the board approves. So, but I'm hopeful that new relationship and I got to give credit to where credit's due. Coach McCarty, Dave Drury, all the people that have been there for a long time have excelled in athletics, have kept athletics going in Imperial Valley at IVC. And they've done a phenomenal job. I'm really fortunate to be in this time frame because we get to also, build a little bit different or continue the legacy that they've built. So I'm excited about that.
Well, one of the good things, you mentioned some of the people that have carried the process forward, but it's also at the same time, it's people like you and Elizabeth and Demo that brought in new blood to change things up a little bit, to, like, for instance, VSN being one of them. So we're very happy with that. And it takes that teamwork. I mean, I when we had that first meeting, it's just a positive thing. I think we all had that vision that we wanted to see where BSN wanted to be at and IVC wanted to be a part of that. And let me tell you, if it wasn't for IVC and the sponsors that we have, I mean, it's just it's really been able to send our message to the public, our viewing public out there.
Thank you. When I was thinking about it, it just made sense. It made sense to partner up with an organization that's out at all the high schools, because that's where we want to be. We need to go out there and recruit. It was very evident that when we talked to the local community, they wanted to make sure that IVC Athletics was locally represented as well. Now, there's a space and a time for recruitment outside because we need that. We wouldn't survive without it. It's very evident. But we also want to give, treasure the things that we have here in the county. So draw from the students that are graduating locally, and maybe they can. The big thing is, what can we do for them while they're at IVC so that they can enhance their lives, transfer, move on to other programs, play. One of the common messages for community colleges, you might go to a four-year university, but you may not get playing time first year or second year. Whereas if you choose to come to a community college like IVC, you're going to, for more than likely, you're going to play your first and second year, and then be able to play your third and fourth year at another institution. So that's the key, right? That's our goal. We're trying to.
And you make a very good point, because the key is to continue it, and why not have a little bit of fun while doing it, playing some sports at IVC.
Yeah.
Which, when we talk about sports at IVC, girls basketball, they're looking pretty good this year, right?
They're girls basketball, our volleyball team. We got Coach Robinson with basketball, again, baseball. So we've had winning traditions at IVC, but you know what's better, Will? It's that we have a high transfer rate, one of the best in the state. So athletes that come to IVC, they finish their 2 years and they transfer out, and usually with a scholarship. So that's something that we want to let the community know. It's there, and you're going to get something out of it.
So that's the first I'm hearing about that. But if you're a parent, and that's what you want to do, you want your kid. Well, I'm saying in my situation, to have your kid play and then be able to get a scholarship to move on to a four-year university. That's a win-win deal right there.
And that's what I'm saying. You got to give credit where credit's due. I think, Coach McCarty being the AD there, and all the coaches that have been on staff for a while already, they've done that. They've built that tradition of transferring students and getting them to the next level. And we're just trying to build off of that. So it's important.
So let's talk about the leadership. Yeah. Dr. Johnson here.
So Dr. Johnson, man, I can't say enough about him. He's a great leader. Him and I, he started 1 year before when I transferred from K-12 to the IVC. We started at Dean's together, and he was Dean of Student Services. I was Dean of Student Affairs. We have a great relationship, obviously working relationship. And then he went on to become the Vice President of Student Services, and now the President. So he's, he's from out of town, but he's set here in the Valley. He built a home. He brought his family here, bought a home, has been settled. And it looks like he's going to be here for a while, so I'm excited. And then you'll be able to transition to when he left the VP role and doing this, the vice president role that I'm in right now. It's great because there's a great working relationship. So we're trying to do the best that we can, but I think Dr. Johnson has a vision not only for athletics, but for the entire community.
Yeah.
The thing that people forget is we're a community college, so our number one thing is to be out there in the community. To be out there, so we're doing a lot more outreach. We're starting an outreach campaign. I mean, and I kid you not, Will, I bet 90% of the population doesn't know exactly what happens at IBC, but we got so many great things. And this is why I wanted to be in this space, so we can highlight all these things that are going on.
Well, I can tell you one thing. So when we walked on campus, 40 years ago, I remember it wasn't that big. When we had that meeting, I go, I'll just walk, and you go, Will, you don't want to walk. You don't want to walk. I've never seen so many golf courts at a college before, because that brand new building, besides it being beautiful, it's all the way across. So there's a lot of good things, beautiful campus, a lot of upgrades. I mean, it's been a long time, and you're right, Victor. There is a lot of things that are changing and that IBC wants to present out there that I lived here. I've here lived all my life, and I'm finding out things all the time from you. So.
And I challenge the community, if you have, even if you're an adult, we have adult learning programs. We have, if you're recently graduating or about to graduate, I challenge you that there's something for you out there. So you can find a program, a class, something that's going to fit you and your family. So check it out. Go out there. We'll greet you. We'll try to enroll, and whatever we need to do to make your experience well and great. And so, like I said, I think the biggest thing is, and I said this yesterday, is about community and capacity, right? So our number one goal is to build capacity so that our residents have the best quality of life possible, and that's what it's about, really.
Yeah, and on our side from the VSN is continue that by sending the message to our listening public. Yeah. And I think it's a great combination. It's a great partnership. I'm glad we somehow connected and we made it happen.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So once again, that's Chino Torrez with IBC, a proud partner with VSN. Chino, once again, I'd like to thank you for doing the interview yesterday, representing IBC today. And if you missed it, you can always rewind it. But, Chino, you were actually the honorary coin toss today.
That's an honor, man. I get to say, to be on that field again after so many years of playing here.
1995
graduate. I was, I can say, in all honesty, it was the year that our senior year, Bishop came to Brawley. And that's when I think we turned things around. It was a class I had, and I have to take this time to say, class of 95 was loaded, man. We had players. We had a bunch of teammates that I had: Mikey Paceno, Mike Vandiver, Scott Sycom, Patrice Jefferson, Brian Benson, Charlie Lai, Greg Seals, Mario Llanos, Jerry Nunez. All kinds of guys.
Jerry Nunez?
Yeah, Jerry Nunez in my class, yeah.
I think he wore number 4. I saw a picture of him earlier.
27.
He wore 27?
Yeah, I could tell you most of the numbers, too.
Well, Chino, that's funny you say that, because, look, that's what – we're small. I get that part. We're small, Chino. But, look, I can remember all the people I played with and most of their numbers. Yep. And you know what? It's just something special about a community that when you play this type – we take football with pride.
Yeah. It's interesting, I forgot to say my boy Pablo Torrez. Obviously, your cousin, right? He's
he'll remind you
too. He's my compa. So, and that's what I love about this game, this community, the lifelong friendships that I built over those years. And Will, I'll tell you, I don't share this often, but those high school years for me were tough. I just lost my dad; he was murdered. My mom had legal problems, and it was tough. But football was like my therapy, man. For 48 minutes out there on the field, I forget about everything. And not only that, the stuff that you learn, the stuff that I learned, I'm using it right now talking to you, because, I came in here not knowing a word of English, and I'm here speaking with you and, having these outings that I have. And I'm about community. That's what I love about my role now. But to me, everything that I learned in athletics while in high school, I apply it to my daily life. And so this is amazing.
It is amazing. I'll tell you what, because we have heard stories like that, Chino, but it's happened when people have moved away and they succeeded. Same thing has happened, and you stayed home and you encourage people here in Imperial Valley to do the same. So I applaud you in that sense, So congratulations, man. So, Chino, as we take it away, man, any last...
So I got to do a shout-out for class of 95, best class in the history of Brawley. I know you might disagree with me. But also a shout-out to my younger brother, Jesus Chuy Torres, my brother Eddie Torres. They were athletes here. They played here, alumni, and my cousin Bobby Farrell. I can't. I'm forgetting all kinds of names, but
no, they'll remind you as soon as this telecast is over. But you know what? This is what we're about, to share everybody, and yeah, we can do shout-outs here.
Oh, yeah, and the thing is, Will, one last thing is, you know, I also remember names like the following classes, you know, the Steve Myers, the Ryan Revelar, Andrew Dom, you know, all those guys, Ira Smith, Brandon Young, that I'm still friends with. Like, you can't say that in many other places, right?
No,
that you have that history with people. So it's been a blessing, but it all started here, you know, in these fields and in these campuses.
No,
so.
I totally agree with that. I mean, that's how Ron and I connect, and that's why the chemistry is there. There's always that kind of chemistry where you can start where you left off last time. It's those field experiences.
Yeah.
And yeah, people say, oh, it's only high school football, but you know what? We're a little bit different.
Yeah, no, it's
a
different. It's a different
strange.
kind of football here. I mean, it's still, you know, you need 10 yards to get a first down, but it's a little bit different. You know, the atmosphere, the tradition, the values that are instilled when you're a player here. And I said, look, you know, most of these kids will graduate and go on to become something, and we're just trying to do a piece of that.
Well, Chino.
Hey, I appreciate you, Will. Thank you so much.
Appreciate everything and that you have done, and Dr. Johnson, and then the whole committee with VSN and everything.
Yeah, we're gonna have him out here pretty soon, right, Dr. Johnson?
Yeah.
He's
that's a tough schedule to keep up with.
No,
He's a tough schedule.
So I call it the administrative finger. You have to do it. You know.
Listen, getting him scheduled, because I know Simon and Billy, you know, they want him and to fit him in our schedule, but it's not that. It's just that he's a very busy man.
We'll get him out here.
So from Victor Torres, Will Torres,
go Wildcats.
We'll see you guys after this break.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
DP Duck quiere recordarle a todos que se mantengan activos, jueguen seguros y que sean cool este verano. Si no tienes acceso a una alberca, hay muchas maneras de refrescarte sin acercarte a los canales. Para estar seguro, recuerda las reglas de DP Duck. Nunca nades en un canal, nunca juegues cerca de un canal y nunca te metas a un canal. Si ves a alguien caer en un canal, busca ayuda o llama al 911. Mantente alejado y seguirás vivo.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beers and the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Whippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Reducir el uso de energía durante el verano es más importante que nunca. Este verano, IID le anima a hacer su parte al ajustar su termostato a 78 grados o más, evitar usar electrodomésticos principales de 4 a 9 p.m. y apagar luces innecesarias. Pero aún hay más. IID ofrece un número de oportunidades de ahorro de energía. Conozca nuestros consejos de ahorro de energía en iid.com. Trabajemos juntos para estar frescos y para ahorrar energía este verano.
Welcome back, everyone, to Warne Field here in Brawley, California, where the Brawley Wildcats have a 42-6 lead over the Southwest Eagles. It was a half that was, to be very blunt about it, expected. It's a 42-6 score. You have the Wildcats total yards of 275, while Southwest 83 yards. The leader for the Wildcats, of course, is the general quarterback, Ethan Gutierrez, 9 of 14, 188 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 31 yards rushing. Tanner Carranza, 5 carries, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also has 2 receptions, 49 yards, 1 touchdown through the air. Mekhi Washington, 5 receptions, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. And on the defensive side, Matthew Gutierrez has 5 tackles along with 2 sacks. Southwest, we have Logan Youngers, 8 of 17, 65, 1 touchdown, and earning every single yard he has of that, Will. And William Lillian is the leading receiver with 2 catches, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. Matai survived. Here's the kick to start the second half. Abarca at the 20, Abarca to the 25. Abarca is looking for some room. Abarca up to the 38-yard line. So the Wildcats deferred, and now with great field position again at the 38-yard line. So this has been the story of this football game. The Wildcats' first 3 possessions were all in Southwest territory, Will. They haven't stopped since.
And did you happen to see what happened on that? He tried to forward pass that handoff to that ball right now. Did you happen to notice that?
I didn't see that. And
it looks like he caught it, and he goes, hey, look, I'm going to give it to, I don't know who was in front of him. I didn't actually see the number, but that was interesting. He ended up keeping it, or Ron, it would have been a penalty.
So here we go, back to the action with the 11:53 remaining. That was a 7-second kickoff return.
And not what the Eagles wanted for the Wildcats to start the second half with the possession of the kickoff.
And it looks like the Wildcats will have Ethan Gutierrez on the sidelines. Matthew Gutierrez now at the controls. The give is to, I want to get the number on that. That did not look like Carranza, and it is Carranza. So Carranza's down. Don't know if the offensive line is going to be rotated out. I still see Isaiah Gomez in there. That's one of their guards, I believe.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Gutierrez doesn't come back in, I'll tell you what, that was a perfect first half.
It was, reading the stats thank you, Jalen Fong. It was a great stats on him. I mean, that's 9 of 14, 188. He's out over 200 and some yards, combined yards running and throwing. Matt Gutierrez, as I said, there's Carranza. Can't do anything wrong with that. Carranza to the 50, Carranza to the 40. He's going to cut back at the 30, bulls his way over and brought down by number 19 of Southwest.
Bringing him down hard, because I'll tell you what, Carranza had a steam pool. That's Andres Lopez on that stop right there. But, Ron, not after 30-plus yards, as we see number 13 taking.
You can't afford to lose Jonah Estrada, man, or I'm sorry, William Lillian. That's your leading receiver. He's up and at him, so good to see that.
I'll tell you what was good to see
Dr. Fareed going out there.
Checking the injury on Nate Bacon's over there. Yeah, they already called the ambulance. Is that Marshall Tagabon out there?
That's Mr. Haley
that's
out there.
Mr. Haley.
Tagabon is an assistant coach here, defensive back coach here for the Wildcats, along with Tyler Sycon, as I mentioned earlier. Offensive coordinator is Ray Van Diver. You have offensive line coach Eric Palpal from North County, San Diego. Good coaching staff here. New staff members are Palpal and Sycon, Tyler Sycon.
Interesting thing, we see a ref being taken off in the cart right
now.
now.
You're kidding me.
And it looks like Nate Bacon's, which was the back judge, will now be taken off the field on a cart. And that doesn't make a difference. What they do is they go into a four-man mechanic.
Four-man crew, four-man mechanic.
And with the score being 42-6, they will start the clock. And I think that means that winding of the clock is a winding of the clock. It looks like.
Does it mean mercy rule? Does it mean running clock?
It means a running clock.
You're kidding me. At this point, I thought we had to wait to the fourth quarter.
So I'm not gonna make sure of that. But when I see Seaman doing it twice that way, he either means started right now.
Gutierrez shoots it out to Platt. Platt with the reception with a good 5-yard gain. So the starters aren't pulled for the Wildcats. They still have everybody in there other than Ethan Gutierrez. The offensive line looks like it's intact.
IV Welding and Mechanical. Tonight's game is brought to you by the IV Welding and Mechanical Industrial Welding Contractor, serving the geothermal and all industrial facilities in Imperial Valley. Give Fred a call at 760-482-WELD.
Second down and 5 for 6. Let's say 2nd and 6. Motion by Camilo. Is it a jet sweep? Jet sweep to the right. That's the wide side. Camilo to the 30. Camilo to the 25. Finds his way to the 20. That's maybe a second carry on that play. Well, and as you said,
Yes.
you want them. You got to get Camilo involved in the offense. So that's enough for a first down with 9:44 remaining.
Burgers and Beer will also be our offensive player of the game for tonight's game. For the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer, located at 260 North Imperial Valley in El Centro. Open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come and watch the VSN Game of the Week at Burgers and Beer. Hello to everybody down there right now, Ron. Good place
Hope
to go
the
get a
game is
burger.
on. It'd be nice to watch a game, have a cold drink, and a good meal. So with 9:17 remaining, they give us to Carranza. Carranza up the middle.
Ron, as we still have Victor Torres up here as the third man in the booth. Victor, you reside now in Imperial?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I live in Imperial. I've been there for about 12 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. You established dominance residence there. That's
Yes.
considered, yeah.
It was a halfway point for my wife and I. So she's from Calexico.
Right
nice.
on. What does
Nice.
she do? She works
She's
in
a teacher, 10th grade English teacher at Imperial.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
right on.
So Tanner Carranza came out limping. Hopefully it's just maybe a cramp. In is Zane Richards Jr. Gutierrez just shoots it out, and that's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown, Platt. Flag on the play. Looks like that might be. We're not going to assume.
Yeah.
Let's let Mr. Seaman
Yeah,
tell us what's up.
let him let us know, make sure what's going on. But it did look like a late hit on the quarterback, roughing the quarterback.
Near the right pylon, we'll check the penalty. Personal foul against the Wildcats.
I have a personal foul. Passer, the defender led on Southwest. The touchdown counts. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. We're going to do one on time down.
See, Ron, that's the importance of having the communication with the head referee. Reason being is, okay, well, listen, there was a penalty on flag. Why are they enforcing it on the kickoff and not on the PAT?
True.
So that's one of the
And
reasons that we up here thought it was important for everybody to know what's going on and keeps us updated so we're not assuming and guessing stuff. It's a hard job enough for them to do it.
Another penalty. Looks offsides on the defense. So this will be assessed on this play, right?
Yes, this one will be. Yes, that's correct.
Start of the kick, dead ball, encroachment number 1 on Southwest. We're going to go half the distance to the goal line and re-kick.
Yeah, and then they'll assess the other one.
The big one.
The big one, because they have a choice. That's why if you heard John Seaman talking to Self, he wants, hey, what do you want me to do? You want me to assess it right now on the PAT? Because they do have that
You
choice.
can really do that? Personal foul.
But check it out, Ron. You're on the 3-yard line, and then if you go half the distance, it's the same as a 5-yard penalty. So why not assess it on the kickoff? You know what I mean?
Right. And it kind of eliminates, how would you say, a personal foul on a play before, during it. So kick hits the upright and no good. So Urbano, who was 6 for 6, I believe, goes 7 for 7. Now is 7 for 8 on extra points. So with 8:30 remaining, the Wildcats now 48, Southwest Eagles 6.
CR&R Incorporated, your environmental service with recycling now more important than ever. CR&R Incorporated has developed innovative recycling and reuse programs, the face of a greener generation. And we cannot forget the icon location of Johnny's Burrito, serving the Imperial Valley since 1963. An Imperial Valley tradition with locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. And one of our newest sponsors, let's not forget Mr. Hank Barron, Grassos at Imperial Valley, a tradition since 1955, family owned and operated, located at 1902 West Main Street in El Centro. Grassos is open Wednesday through Sunday till 5 p.m. Order or come in for that Italian dining experience. And Ron's telling me everything's reamped in there, everything's looking brand new, great facility, everything just
one of the best places to eat.
There
in
you
town,
go.
man.
There you go. It sells itself, man. It sells itself, and
I want Ronnie to take me over. I haven't been to the Reamp place yet, though. But Ronnie's telling me.
I wonder if they still do that tomato and onion.
Not only
salad.
during the season.
Yeah.
Only during the season.
That
Like
thing's
during the
amazing.
season, that's good stuff.
Well, what time is the season for tomato?
That's what in the summer, spring. What am I?
Yeah, it's been a while since I
It-
had
So
it.
we
It's
have
delicious.
We have
really
a tomato
good.
season then?
It's tomato and onion, and they have
Oh.
their dressing, and it's a big hit.
All right.
So Hank and Sue will be down there very soon.
Hey, let's not forget Mr. Donnie Wharton at Medical Reach Response Service. With second counts, you can depend on Reach Medical Transportation Service. Big sponsor since day one. Appreciate everything Donnie Wharton does and the Reach community with all the medical services serving the Imperial Valley, not only just Imperial Valley, but the entire nation. Havens Landscaping. Look, talk about Havens Landscaping, man. That number 73. Well, you know what? We'll talk about
The center for
yeah,
Central and
yeah.
our offensive lineman.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get them again. But Havens Landscaping, located at 603 East Main Street in El Centro, specializing in gravel, rock, and stone for all your landscaping materials and needs. Give them a call at 760-352-6735.
When they bring all that rock and gravel, they do it for you, right? They just don't dump it there and you work on it, or what's the story with that?
So the story on that's pretty interesting. Let me tell you why. Joaquin and I went over there because we're going to change. We're going to cut out some of our watering system in our yard.
I've
right,
got to
Ron?
do something like that too.
So we went there. We had to do a little bit of business, so I went there and I looked at their yard. Ron, they got the colored sand that's hard
killer.
pack to make the desert look.
I
That's
want
what
that.
that's what
I want that.
too.
I want that in my front. So.
And then so we went down there for business, VSN business, and we looked at that and I go, Sarah, you got to go down there. There's just
Pick your color.
Yeah, pick your colors.
Yeah, right. Deep kick. So with that personal roughing the passer, Gilbert Valenzuela able to knock it into the end zone. So the Eagles will start at the 25-yard line.
Yes, it will start on the 25. And the other thing is, Ron, we went on a Saturday morning thinking that, by the way, they're not open Saturday morning, just to let everybody know. So we had to, Joaquin, you just saw two guys looking through the gate looking to see how. But let me tell you, there was like 100 dump trucks there lined up. They got so many
They're
dump
awesome,
trucks.
man. Yeah, I really am looking into that. So look for that. Havens Landscaping.
Yeah, no, it's and you know, we're all going that way to conserving water part, you know. And they have everything you need over there. I don't know how this turned into that, but there's your question.
Because I asked the question, how does that work? So here we go. The process is there for Havens. And here we go. 8:30 remaining for the Eagles to give it to Cervantes. Cervantes gets maybe a couple of yards. And look at that Wildcat defense. Wildcat defense been on fire, as Victor Torrez mentioned. Don't get enough credit when you're racking up all these points, but you're limiting the team to only 6 points. You're doing something right on defense.
And it's been, the thing is, Victor and Ron, it's been very few times, except for that one series where they scored, where the Eagles have been actually in Wildcat territory.
Right. You know, and
it seems like they haven't been able to get a little consistency. They'll get one or two plays and big plays, but the defense is definitely stepping up for the Wildcats. Hey, Ronnie, at what point do you say, if you're the Wildcats, do you start playing other players and getting them some exposure?
You start looking in it right now, midway through the third quarter. You want to get whatever, you know, Victor. Sometimes you want to work on some things. Maybe there's some plays on offense you want to do. That's why you keep your offensive line in, and maybe some of your runners. They took out Gutierrez, a quarterback. That's fine, and they put in another Gutierrez, Matthew. But back to your question, yeah, you want to get some of those guys those reps. Get the reps in right now. Reps that they don't get at practice time, game time situation. So here we go. Let's see if the defenders are going to be replaced right now. There still looks like the same starters are in there. 7:06 remaining. And the deal is, though, too, Vic, you need your starters to see this. They're going to come at them right now. I mean, they've been trying all night. But let's go. Let's work on our pass defense. So let's see what the Wildcats can do. 6:52 remaining. It is a 3rd down and 21. Youngers again, he's getting rushed by Gassares, dumps it off with that screen. That's Cervantes. Cervantes gets back some of that yardage, able to make it a 4th and 9 from their own 21-yard line. So that's been the story of the night. Youngers getting rushed all night. You know, it was said that his offensive line was a little bit injured. They're getting guys back. But as you said, they can't get any momentum going on offense, Vic. 6:14 remaining. Molina set to punt. You have Daniel Camilo standing at the Eagles' 47-yard line. So here we go with 5:52 remaining. Molina set to kick. Molina, maybe that's the best punt of the night. It gets into, and thankfully for the roll, will be inside. That's a heck of a bounce there, Victor. So all the way up to the 27-yard line. That's where the Wildcats would take up their second possession of the second half with 5:41 remaining. 5:41 remaining. The Wildcats now have. Before we go on, before the Wildcats come on, let's talk about Imperial Valley College, founded in 1962. That's Victor Torrez. You heard all about him tonight.
We're working on our 60th anniversary.
The 60th anniversary. That's something very big to do, and part of it is what the service the community college has done. We were looking at some of the PowerPoints that Victor has over here. IVC is a top 10 college, junior college.
We're up for that's called the Aspen Award, and there's over almost 2,000 colleges in the nation. We're top 10.
Nationwide. I thought we were just talking California. That is amazing.
We're in the running for #1. So our visit is actually next week. Folks are going to come out and visit our campus, and then hopefully within a few weeks after that, we'll be notified. And we're hopeful that we're #1, man. It would be a great deal for us.
That's a great deal for not only IVC, but for the Imperial County alone. I mean, that's been out there for 60 years, as Victor said. Not only it's a facelift physically, looking at the campus. Not only that, and it's the culture, the new buildings that are going up.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to say my son is employed by IVC.
Thank you. I just learned that today, but we'll make sure we come out there and visit that building.
Thank you very much. He's working in one of the new buildings. So here we go. Zane Richards up the middle. Zane gets 4 of the 5 back off that penalty. It's going to be a second down and 11 for the Wildcats with 5:32 remaining.
Hey, Ronnie, if you give me just a minute, I do want to mention, I mentioned this yesterday at the Imperial game, that we're going up for a general bond obligation, Measure B, and we're building some great facilities, man. If this passes, we're hopeful that it does pass. $130 million to go to IVC for some great facilities, regional training center for post, fire academy.
Wow.
Emergency response. And that's a big deal, so we're hoping that this passes, and we're asking the community to support it. It's a countywide election in November.
And that's on the ballot.
Yeah, it's on the ballot. So.
And what number is that? It's a proposition or
Measure B?
Measure B.
That's a yes on Measure B, right?
Yes on Measure B. Yeah, it's 3 cents for every $100. We're hoping that the community votes around that. Some of our initial surveys indicate that there's a lot of good response, so we're very hopeful. But again, that'll be a really great enhancement to the college.
Well, not only that, I mean, as a parent, my sons have taken advantage of what IVC has. I have, like I just said, my son Roman out there, he's a flank official now, works for the Department of DSPS. And here's Gutierrez out to Porras, and Porras is going to go. He's gone, man. He's in, and that's the future of the Wildcats they have right now. That's sophomore to sophomore, and a touchdown. So a great play. But back to the IVC deal. Great play for the Wildcats with 4:44 remaining. I just want to mention my family's taking advantage of that. Not only do I have a son working for that program there, I have 2 kids in the nursing program. One will be graduating in December and the one following in April. So, hey man, kudos to the IVC. I'm very happy for that. They've taken advantage, and that's available for everybody, man.
One of the greatest programs we have on the campus is nursing.
So people out there, your kids, encourage your kids to go out to IVC. I mean, save some money. Get your general ed out of the way. That's usually the routine. Get that out of the way, and then fly the coop, man.
Yeah, I commend your sons for doing nursing. There's a high need here in the county, so they're gonna be okay.
High demand. So here we go. So with 4:44 remaining, the Wildcats now have 54. Southwest Eagles 6.
And right now, once again, we know, well, it's a little bit after 9, but still, when you get a chance, visit Big Chris at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro for one-of-a-kind haircut. Fresh fades, always a cutaway at top-notch barber. Imperial Valley College, in collaboration with, that happened today, that IVC. How was that today? Did we already talk about?
So we had a mental health
cool one.
day today. Yeah, it was we had over 500 people there. We had a bunch
on.
of schools represented and agencies. It was a great event.
And we got the memo a little late on yesterday's game, but there's a lot of things going on, Victor, and I'm just glad to see people like you, yourself, and like we were talking about earlier, everybody down there at IVC spreading the word out there for a lot of things that were happening.
It was a great event.
El Centro Police Department, dedicated to serve our community through partnership, professionalism, and uncompromising excellence. Quality of life, protection, and service is our #1 commitment. RDO Company, with the support, solutions, and expert equipment possibilities than any other dealer in the market can bring to you. Whether you are a seasoned pro in precision ag or just getting started, RDO Equipment Company is a partner you need for your success. Back to Ron Rubio with your play-by-play.
Short kick received by number 11. That is number 11. He runs it all the way out to the 31-yard line. Number 11 is Edgar Cisneros. Cisneros, a senior. Good run back by Cisneros. He also plays running back. So with 4:35 remaining, I have a question. When does the running clock begin? Because you're down by, 48 points?
Well, I'm sure that the communication will be sent to both coaches, and they'll probably start it in the fourth quarter as they did last night. And, this is exactly what the Wildcats wanted to do, Ron. And to a certain extent, the Eagles, like we said, had a tough uphill battle tonight, but they did show a little bit of promise on that long series where they were able to score 6 points up on the board and miss the PAT. But still, Youngers is young. He'll be back next year. He's got something to prove.
He's got one more year to go, and here comes the Wildcats with the rush. That's Duarte, 72. Younger's going to tuck it in. He's going to run outside. He's going to probably get the first down. He sure does.
That was a nice block by number 2 over in the southwest side.
Well, let's see if it was a nice block right here.
Cole Redden.
Yeah, they might just call that hanky. I seen it flying across. And that's Mr. Nate Bacon. Looks like he's back in the game, Ron.
So, that's another thing to I'll get the information what happened to Nate on that, why he got that ride off the field.
Why does he get a ride? That's my thing. Why does he get, okay, here we go as Mr. Seaman comes and inform us.
Block in the back, southwest, 10 yards for the spot of the foul, replay down.
What Mr. Chino Torrez thought was a good block ended up being a push in the back.
Maybe he did see a good block.
Well, maybe it wasn't that same
number
character.
2 had a good block. I think that was a different flag.
So that'll negate the first down. It's a spot foul, correct, Will? So from the spot of the foul,
That's
10
correct.
yards or 15?
If it was a push in the back, it's a push in the back 10 yards.
10 yards. So wait a minute. Why does the yard marker say first down? Will it be second down?
No, it's repeat of the down.
Wow, that's
so
it's first down and 6, first down and 7.
Okay, yeah.
See what I'm getting at?
Okay, but maybe the penalty happened after the first
Yeah,
down
it
marker.
did. It did. So here comes number 20. That's number 24, Southwest. Julian Lopez, a sophomore.
So they gained enough for the first down run,
and then
you penalize them from where the spot of the foul happened, which made it a first down, and then you move it back.
So with that, they get the first down at their 41-yard line. Wildcats now, it seems to me like they may be substituting on the defensive end. We have a whole bunch of new numbers in there. We have Brody Van Diver, number 44 at outside backer. If I could get to all these numbers, I will try my best to do that.
22, Ronnie.
Number 22 is Jaime Moreno. Jaime Moreno, son of Jaime Moreno Sr., another. Jaime Moreno was on the first football team I ever coached, or second squad I ever coached. A nice outlet pass completed to Julian Lopez, number 20. Lopez, busy guy right now. Lopez, number 20, catches that reception. Was just on the jet sweep. Gain of 4. Second down and 6. 2:51 remaining. And like I said earlier, if you look up and down the rosters, there's not too many seniors on the Southwest Eagles roster. So they make it through this season. They're going to be a battle-tested group of kids. And let's see what they could do next year. Youngers fake up the middle. Youngers going to have some green in front of him. He gets up to the 50, cuts to the 45. He's going to fight his way up inside Wildcat territory. Let's say the 46, 47 yard, check that, 42-yard line. 2:19 remaining.
You know, it looks like the Eagles are putting together a nice little drive here.
Well, here's the deal. When you substitute as Victory reflected on when you start subbing, right now is the time. The quarter's about to end. The defense, the guys coming in, the reserves coming in, they want to uphold what they've done so far, you know.
Yeah, because they know it's next man up, so they know they got to be ready and keep that same thing that the number ones put in there.
Exactly right. So Younger's looking. He shoots it down the middle. Open is number 13. Who is number 13? Well, William Lillian, the leading receiver on the football team. He is also a junior, right down the sidelines, complete all the way to the Wildcat 15-yard line.
That's a good point, Ronnie. Defensively, you want to do that. Offensively, you want to get your timing right? So you want to make sure that you get the exposure. I think that it's valuable for the number 2s. They got to be ready all the time.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And that's how you do it. You can't really emulate a lot of stuff during practice. It's game time that counts because now you have to know what's going on. So here we go, 1:10 remaining. Youngers now with trips to his left. Single back is Cervantes. Semi-roll to his right. He's looking, nothing doing. He's still rolling. He's still looking. He's going to tuck it. He goes up to the 10. He's inside the 5. And the clock will keep running. Mark down at the 5. Is that a first down?
It looks like it's going to be a first down, Ron, but listen, they're right knocking on the door of that goal line with less than 35 seconds to go.
So what's the deal, Will? Once a first down is made by running, doesn't the clock stop until a chain is set? I mean, I'm wondering.
So on one of our past podcasts when we had John Seaman, John explained that rule to me. So, and we can get really deep into that rule, but I would recommend listen to the podcast with John Seaman in it, and he gives a very good explanation on it.
Oh, nice. Nice little route for number 13. That is Lillian again. And did he get in? Yeah, and he comes in. So with 2.4 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the Eagles strike inside the touchdown for Lillian. Connection, Youngers to Lillian. That's something you're going to hear about a lot next year. Lillian is the leading receiver.
Arctic Air and Conditioning and Heating. Arctic Air, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and an expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air and Conditioning and Heat at 352-8855. Letterman's and Bros for all your – I'm sorry, Ron.
That's okay. Go ahead. Letterman and Bros. Incomplete pass on the 2-point conversion.
Okay. Thank you for that, Ron. For all your custom Letterman jacket needs serving the Yuma and Imperial Valley, call Letterman's and Bros at 760-693-5034. Make sure you get in contact with Daniel for the right choice for your Letterman's jacket. Esquer Realty is your hometown real estate office in Calexico, serving the entire Imperial Valley. Go see Mark at Esquer Realty, 760-357-9707, the mark of excellence. Let's not forget Driscoll's coming in, serving the Imperial Valley since 1979. They take great pride in the years of experience and quality, custom silkscreen and embroidering services. Make sure to stop by and check out their huge selection of sunglasses, sandals, street clothes, located at 1470 West State Street. You know, Ron, speaking of Driscoll's, Joaquin and I walked in there. Now, they opened up a whole nother section over there. So I went in through the front door where, you know, what used to be
I
the
haven't been
main
in Driscoll's in a while.
Okay, let me tell you, we walked in there, and so the showroom's cool, right? You see the hats, you see everything. And then you go to the back room. It's like a warehouse with about 20 people working back there. You talk about an assembly line going on.
What are they doing? Sewing clothes up and everything? Hats? Or
the
what?
hats, the shirts, they're screen printing, they're embroidering. I mean, it's really incredible. Dustin gave us a tour of it back there. I mean, it was pretty impressive.
Is there any VSN gear there?
That is something I am going to talk to Dustin. And, you know, Ron, as you know, we've been pretty busy. We had to get the show on the road with the advertisers. But, yeah, that's something that's going to come up in the future. I just got to get with Dustin. He gets real busy. But something that I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him. Because, as you know, we need a place centrally located that carries some VSN gear.
Yeah, rumor had it there was a couple people going in there purchasing stuff that, but I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? More power to him. It is what it is, Ron.
2.4 seconds remaining, 54-12. Wildcats leading. Matt Gutierrez is in. Penalty flags on the field. They're going to get the Wildcats. Let's hear it.
Dead ball, false start, number 66, Brawley. Penalty, remains first down.
Alex Castillo now, so now it's full-blown substitution. You have Duarte in at center, that's 72. Castillo, 66 at one of the tackles. I'll try to get everybody in there. Motion. And that's going to end. Zane Richards will close out the third quarter. So at the end of the third quarter, we have the Brawley Wildcats 54, Southwest Eagles 12.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell,
back at Warne Field with 11:57 remaining. Here comes Brandon Porras. Porras cuts it back to the 50. There's a flag on the field. So as we said, the reserves are in. The twos are in. 11:47 remaining. The clock will be running. What is the story with a running clock? Is there any time that it stops at all other than an injury?
So it'll stop on a timeout, Ronnie.
A timeout.
And it'll stop on an injury. And besides that, it keeps running.
But a penalty thrown, they're going to discuss and let's get it going on.
They're not going to stop it, no. And it doesn't even matter once the gap closes with the point differential.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop it once the clock starts.
We're inside 11 minutes, and here.
Penalty for holding is being waved off. First down, Brawley.
First down for the Wildcats.
Okay, they're going to. So that's some of the things that I like to see. Look, they got in the conference. They talked about the holding. So another ref comes in there, and he goes, hey, well, you know, he actually didn't have him. They talk about it, and it's ultimate Siemens call to say, hey, look, there's not enough holding there, guys, to warrant a call. Let's just erase it. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake.
Nothing wrong with that because let me tell you something. When a flank does make a call like that, he may have an angle where it looks like a hole to him, but then somebody else has a view. Hey, you know what? You did. I can see you having that opinion of it, and that's what you do when you're having a good crew out there. So kudos to that crew out there that corrected the stuff. That is Gilbert Corrales, who was just, I believe, crowned homecoming king. Now, Tina, were you homecoming king?
I was on the court.
You were on the. I knew
was
you
on
were
the
on
court,
there.
but I never made it to king.
Okay, so.
Hey, Ronnie's. I know you talked about the refs, but I think there's a shortage of refs
For
going
sure,
on right
for
now.
sure.
Right? It's
No,
affecting.
definitely. I mean, I left 4 years ago, and I'm not saying it's shortage because of me, but listen, there is a shortage, Victor, and the thing is that it's affecting the game. We're playing a lot of games on Thursday, you know, and sometimes I don't mind it, but no, I'm a Friday night guy. You talked about tradition earlier, Victor.
Yeah.
Traditions is our Friday nights.
Yeah, and it does, you know, being an administrator at a high school, it does affect your gate on a Thursday night.
For sure,
So
for sure.
sometimes with the resources that you have, you don't get as many people there on a Thursday night. And so you lose a couple $1,000s is a lot of money
tough.
for a high school.
That's tough.
You
Not
know.
everybody has the money. Brawley Union High School has it in their athletic department.
Yeah, well.
Right, Ron?
No comment.
Their bell game tickets make up a lot of that ground. That's usually what Central and Brawley do.
And listen, let's talk about that. You're right. There's no way that Brawley wanted to move a homecoming day on a Thursday night. Not a homecoming. That's something the kids are going to move on. So I get what you're talking about. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was a smart move by some of the teams, I think, like Imperial going on Thursday yesterday for their homecoming, because the gates that draw are Brawley, Errol, Central. So if they give up those dates, like yesterday,
it's give and take. It's give and take, yeah. So. And because, look, Imperial's got those 2 home games. We can start talking about that now. Yeah. Look, it's going to be big, and we hope you join.
I'll be there.
That's next week.
Hey, you know what? I saw Victor yesterday. The guy walks around like he owns the place at Imperial High School down there, man.
He hasn't changed, I'm telling you. I mean, he used to walk around like he owned the whole football field.
No.
And he was only a freshman.
I could tell you, I've been very blessed to have a stint there at Imperial. They're great people, great administrators. My hat off to Victor Cruz. I worked with him for a long time, you know. Well, they're just great stand-up guys.
I'm looking for you in the stands, and he goes, "Nah, I'm over here with Apodaca on the sidelines." I go, "Okay, man."
You know, this is a deal, you know, about the referee shortage. To me, the tradition is, thankfully, it didn't happen to you and I, Will, but your Fridays were very special as a football player. And there's Zane Richards with the touchdown. So but back to that, the tradition of Friday nights when you're varsity, you know, there's no better feeling than waking up on a Friday knowing you have a game, going to school. Yeah. I mean, it's different. If you play Thursday night, you win.
Yeah, you got to go back to school.
You got to go back to school in the morning. I mean, but anyway.
It's worse if you lose. So.
Yeah, you know, but it is what it is. And hopefully the word gets out, and hopefully people will understand that, hey, this is a noble profession, a noble service given by these guys. Not everybody has the mettle to be a referee, but it's a tough thing to do. So maybe somehow, some way, more people will get into the mix, and that's what the Valley needs. Let's hopefully people out there, hey, give it a try. It's rewarding. So here we go. This is Valenzuela set to kick. Valenzuela set. He kicks it, and it is good. So with 6:56 remaining, the Wildcats now 61, Eagles 12.
Speaking of tradition, my old coaches and administrators and ADs and Tom Ronco and Coach Biaggi just walked.
Coach Don Biaggi. Coach Biaggi was my track and field coach. Coach Ronco was my basketball coach, and gave me the honor of being a sophomore on the varsity basketball team. As little as I was, he did see talent that it was there. So I'll always be thankful for that.
I got to tell you, I was fortunate to travel with his family to soccer games.
Whoa.
David.
Ronco, David was huge.
And they're a great family.
Hey, and while we got a minute here, you talk about tradition, you talk about longevity. Let's talk a little bit about Heart Insurance. Liz and the rest of the Heart Girls are excited about their new location at 580 First Street. Let me tell you, that place, it's where the old 7-Eleven was at. It's almost finished. The only thing I'm waiting for is for that Heart Insurance sign to go up, but they will be opening up soon, and they haven't dropped the ball at all. Just because they're in transition on a move, you can still give them a call. Any one of those girls up there at 344-1400. I don't even have to look up that number. I know it. And don't forget, for all your stakes for the original town pump, after this tackle is made by the Wildcats on the sidelines,
Cole Redden takes it up to maybe the 35-yard line.
don't forget the best stakes in Imperial Valley, the original town pump, located at the only location they've ever been and I've ever known, 200 West Main Street in Westmoreland.
Not only the best steaks, but the best prime rib.
Hey, make sure you say to Juanita and Gabriel when we go there. And you know what? It's not even, you know who it is? It's Matthew.
Yeah.
Matthew's the one doing all the work at both places running around. So credit to them.
Credit to Matt. Way to go, Matt. So now with 4:48 remaining, running clock, Youngers and the Eagles at their own 34-yard line. Youngers with an empty backfield motion. Jet sweep to number 11. That is Cisneros, Edgar Cisneros, brought down by number 33 of the Wildcats. That was Abraham Sabalos. Sabalos with the tackle. 2nd down and 7. 4:04 remaining. So it was a good night for the Wildcats. Good night for alumni here. Good night for one of the biggest alumni in the Valley right now. That's Victor Torrez. And all the work he's done at IBC, all the schools he's taken care of at Imperial. So we're very proud of Victor. We're very proud he's on board with IBC. And he's up here, the privilege to come up here and chat with us.
It's been my privilege, man. It's been a blessing. I had so much fun. Thank you for letting me do that, getting the headset. I'm kind of living a little dream, Ronnie.
That's cool.
I always wanted to be, involved with sports broadcasting, so here I am.
Well, here you are. Check that off your bucket list. So Enriquez Cervantes with the carry, 3:19 remaining. And as I said, here's the thing that I made kind of a comment on John Wooden's take on sports building character, that it doesn't build character, it shows your character. You mentioned a couple of names, Apodaca, Victor Cruz. These are all ex-football players, man. And this is what that sport does for you. It helps build what you're going to do as an adult. You want to be good at a sport, you got to put into the grind. You have to put in that extra work. You have to wake up when you don't want to wake up.
And, I try to instill that in my daughters, the hard work, determination, and, all the things that you learn. You have to wake up and want to do it. But and sometimes when you don't want to do it, you got to do it, right?
There are days.
All those valuable lessons.
So that's a attribute that the Valley has. There are led by, the schools are led by kids that played football, and not only that, other sports. So if you have children, encourage them, and teach them sportsmanship, teach them how to be good people, and that's what sports will do for you. And as we said, it's the hard work. Whatever you put into it, you'll get out of it.
Exactly.
2:06 remaining. Set to kick is Molina. I'm not sure how many times Molina has punted the ball. However, he's set to kick again at the 25-yard line. That looks like Jesse Chavarin out there deep to receive. Molina with the kick. Chavarin letting it bounce at the 40. So with 1:43 remaining, 1:42 remaining, the clock is winding down. And as I said, before we leave tonight's game, homecoming, where Brawley will walk away with a 61-12 win. Again, thanks to Victor Torrez and IVC. Thank you for being with us, Victor. It was a pleasure seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I mentioned this yesterday, Ronnie, but you have great sponsors. I think that makes it even better. The people that are investing in this organization.
Thank you.
Right, with you guys. So we're, like I said, in Imperial Valley College, we're happy to be a partner. We're happy to be contributing. I had so much fun, Ronnie. I can tell you. You know that. You know me for a long time, so I'm having a blast. And I hope that this partnership continues.
And we will. We will try our best. And to all our sponsors out there, we try to get better every game.
Yep.
And, you know, when Will's reading the ads, if we don't get enough ad work in there, hey, man, we're going to get better at it. And like we said, we're trying to grow, and grow with us. We invite everybody to try us out. We will try our best to promote your business. And as Victor just said, the more the merrier, you know. And if we could promote stuff, we will do that. And like I said, we're hopefully this is something that we're doing. This is what our 3rd year of streaming.
It's commendable, Ronnie. It's commendable the companies that are stepping up and helping, because it shows that they care about the community. They care about sports, our youth. You know, we have to be able to come together in all these things. So
that's right. So that's a very good point. For a 4th year streaming, I stand corrected. Joaquin Matus, you know, it's our 4th season of live streaming. So that's the final score, folks. I want to thank Will Torrez, Joaquin Matus, Sarah Get Well. We had Saul on camera, and everybody here involved in our production. Jalen Fong on the sidelines. So the Wildcats were now 1-0 in league, 5-2 overall. Southwest drops to 1-6 and 0-2 in league. So with that being said, we are VSN, and we'll be right back. That's it. So hey, guys, have a good night.
Thank you,
it's
Ronnie.
over. And good night.
Good job.
We're looking at our director here, and the producer says we are out of here. So, folks, good night. We're next week in Imperial, Joaquin. Joaquin says Brawley versus Imperial. That's where we'll be at. We hope to see you there. If not in the stands, check us out. Live streaming, 7 o'clock kickoff. Again, thank you very much. Have a good night. Be good persons. Good night.